Go and throttle up.
All right, I gotta get out of that. Oh, dude, I gotta get out of that debacle from yesterday. Guys, I'm sorry. I screwed up hard yesterday. I very sincerely apologize. That was pathetic. I went and watched the VOD, dude, and it's pretty cringe. It's pretty cringe, isn't it? How you feeling today? I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm all right. But holy crap, was yesterday bad. Like, yeah, that dude.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Yeah, bro, that was a hard gamer moment, man. I was so pissed. I was so mad. I was so mad that the thing didn't work. Because I missed the step, dude. That the engineering is sound, dude. Find a pillow to punch at least. Serious. I don't, dude. I don't get mad. I get pissed and I get pissy, but I don't get mad. It's one thing that I've only gotten seriously pissed off on stream maybe once, maybe twice, at best. When the dart fell off the helicopter, that was me when I was mad. But, dude, I don't. Everyone's like, "Oh, play a shooter, play a shooter." You don't play shooters when you're mad. You just get more mad. I don't hit pillows or anything. I'm not like Paul Vitti. I don't hit the pillow. You know, I just confine myself to my thoughts, come up with a strategy, and fix it. The guitar strings, PUBG days. Yeah, once or twice. I guess the whole PUBG thing counts, yeah. Oh, man. Rug, we got this. Yeah. So, I try not to get too angry, and that's, dude, I get angry real quick sometimes. So, I'm good, Offslot, yeah. Dude, that's true. Jack, you know what? You're not wrong. That IG report pissed me off. And I was just in a bad mood for the rest of the stream, and then I took it out on you guys, and that's not okay. I'm gonna go get some smokes, all right? I'll be right now. I mean, J-Speed, the thing is, when you have a pretty good voice, I can change it up and stuff. When you do voices all the times, you get, you know. Did you see the link I sent you on Discord yesterday? I probably ignored it, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you because I was mad. What is this? Don't show me this. Don't show me that. What am I gonna do with that? Some viewers are definitely being less than kind. Yeah, Aqua, that's the thing though, dude. That's not my problem. I mean, that's not my, I can't, so what, dude? It's the internet, man. I can't expect everybody to be nice. Hey, Galactic. Spasiba. Privet, как дела? Well, what happened yesterday? I put the SSTO out on the pad and I missed the step, and I saw the pad was going to blow up, and I Alt F4'd out of the game out of reflex because I was pissed off. And, yeah, I reloaded the game and it ended up saving it. And chat did not like that. And you know what? It's embarrassing. I should have just let it explode. So I ended up fixing it. I mimicked the failure mode and it didn't blow up that time. The next time I tried to do the same thing to, you know, to be fair. And it didn't blow up. And I ended up saving the SSTO. And then I missed the step again and it blew up in my face. And then everybody got to see it. So I'm out about 500 Gs. Down from 1.1 because I lost the SSTO and the pad. I was able to recover a lot of stuff though. So we're sitting at like 600 Gs right now. You can't launch the SSTO again. Yeah. And we lost Dash too. Oh, that sucks. Whatever. Correction, half a chat was fine with it. You weren't happy that it was saved. Yeah. Should have played it off as a crash. No. Be honest. Your number one rule is don't be mean, and you still let people be mean to you. Yeah, it is what it is, man. I'll roll with the punches. I'll be fine. Dash 2 will be better, that's right. Dan, I had the stream muted. So Mechanic Sim 2021. Lunchbox, I have no... Alright, this is going to sound like a dick thing to say, but just hear me out. I don't really have any want to play that game. If you want to change my mind or make the case, I'll listen for sure. Since you allow negative funds, I think we almost have to start over in the save tech tree. You can get back quickly with a different architecture. It's all right. I want the SSDOs to work, Duber. But I don't. I want them to work, but I don't want them to work like that. I don't want them to work where I have to cheat it to get it into space. That's lame. Are you gonna check the SSDO design? Going up, I don't think there's anything wrong. I literally missed a step. I forgot to attach the forward bipod strut, and yeah, it exploded. Jeez. My truck is in it? Oh. I doubt there's a 59. Nobody likes 59 Fords, man. Do we have the funds to launch the K33? Probably. It was purely because of a misstep. There's nothing wrong with the design, Genesis. It's totally me. It's totally on me. Dude, I screwed up. I'm annoyed that I screwed up, but it's okay. I was thinking, dudes, we could, if you want to fund the SSTO, if you guys want to fund it, give it cash. I'm ready to put the thing back on the pad. We just got to figure out what we want to do. I'm thinking let's go back to the moon right now. Like, as soon as possible. But, if we fund it, it's going to... If we vote on it, I have to give 24 hours to a poll. Have you recovered the debris yet? Yeah, I cleaned it all up. I'd like to propose a quick vote for a chat-funded mission for Canada. Dude, I can't... Like, yeah, maybe. I don't want to do individual votes like that, John. Like, that's... I don't know how many times I have to tell you. Not dickish at all. Thought it might interest you because you play My Summer Car. Right on, right on. I've been trying to do it more in real life, Lunchbox, but then again, I haven't done a truck stream in a little bit. It's not on you. The fact that you do the whole integration without a check so many stuff. Yeah, Cosmic. Yeah, no, it's... I appreciate the kind words, man. I do. I need to do better. I want... See, like, that's the thing, man. This is how I roll, and I know it's weird, and I know people don't work like this. Like, I'm not... This isn't advice. Oh, you should do this if you want to get better. It's just 12 easy steps to get better at Twitch streaming. Twitch streamers hate this, you know, like... It's nothing like that. I like to fail. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes it's good. Dude, I will never make that mistake ever again. Ever. I'm never gonna forget to do that. You know what I mean? I'm never gonna forget to do it. It is a costly mistake, no doubt, but we'll make it back. The space program's still okay. The mission mode save is still fine. I like to fail sometimes. But what I don't want to do, what I don't ever want to do is when I fail, you know, act like play it off or Alt F4 out of the game. Dude, that's Bush League. That's participation trophy stuff, and I can't stand that. That doesn't teach you anything. If I got it back, no, that doesn't teach you anything. And once again, I understand not everybody works like this. Not everybody is like this. I'm telling you that I'm like this. I'm a stubborn piece of crap, and I have to learn the hard way if I want to make progress. It's just how I roll. It's not how everybody does things. I get it. I understand that. I am a freaking dinosaur when it comes to this stuff. That's why I always tell you guys to, you know, when I engineer stuff, I engineer it to make it idiot-proof. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me. I didn't make it idiot-proof in that regard, and I forgot a step. You know? Nah, no memorial. Clean it up, build another one. It hurts. It hurts a lot, but I guarantee you I won't make that mistake again. Oh, great. Dude, look at how much funds I have. Oh, that's lovely. You also better not be that harsh on yourself. I've been here for 20 seconds and you've insulted yourself 4 separate times. I have to, Alex. I'm always hard on myself. That's how you learn. All the cars here are in game and your truck is there. Let me take a look. There's a 59. You're telling me there's a 59 F100 in this thing? Let's take a look. Let me see. If there is, I'll consider it, okay? I said make your case, and let's see. I don't know if we can add checklists to the craft file somehow. I have to figure out a way to make it end-user friendly. So, Reddit, I have to find better ways to make it idiot-proof. Hey, Sawyer, 45 months. It's a 56. That's almost my truck, Chief. It's almost it, but it's not a 59. That's a second gen F100. It's a second gen. So that's the first gen right there, right? From 48 to 52, and then from 53 to 56, they made that one. That's the one. That's the Salem in game. Nice car. That's a nice truck. I like those trucks. That's the ones that everybody likes, dude. I have a third gen. I have a third generation F-Series. They only made it for 4 years because it was bad. It's not that it's a bad design. That's what my truck looks like. It was the first full box cab, actually. And it was the first pickup truck to come in 4x4. 59 was the first year for a 4x4. Yeah. Really cool truck. They're cool, but they're not very wanted. That's the thing. How about I create a checklist for your webpage? What's the plan? I don't know. I'll have to get into it. As the hero Eminem says, if you insult yourself now, no one has anything left to insult you for. Dave, you know what? On the internet, that ain't wrong. If I sit here calling myself a numbskull all day, you can be damn sure that nobody's going to. Self-burns are good for the soul, man. That sounds way worse than what I meant, but you know what I mean. Platinum, what was that? I'll tell you what I personally feel wrong. You always had accidents in KSP, but the past it always was in space. Midshift, shuttle wing replacement, and so on. And lately it's been on the ground. Like, what's the worst thing to happen in space? Oh, we have an SSDO stuck in orbit. Yeah. It looks so familiar. Yeah, it's similar. You're getting an 81 F-150 soon? Nice truck. I can say from piloting in real life, yeah, you have a pre-flight checklist. Yep. Hey, Shepard, what's going on? You got a new computer? Nice. You numbskull. Yeah, right. Cough, 9th gen, best gen. I mean... Oh, Sawyer. Hang on one second. Hang on a second. I gotta show you something.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Shh. Ambroso, 34-month resub. If we have the funds to launch the KW-33, I say we go down the path we would have failed if Dash had failed. Yeah, pretty much. If I understand it correctly, the pad Kraken, right? Have you considered using multiple docking ports for locking to improve both stability on the joints and rigidity? I don't use multiple docking ports, Alex. I use auto strut. One docking port. Dude, docking ports are like bolts, dude. They're not structural carriers. So, like... I treat docking ports like this. They're not structural. Bolts hold structural pieces together, right? These are what docking ports are. They're not. You wouldn't have something that's held up by bolts. That's not right. Hey, Redlocks. I don't. That's not a good idea. you need a flange to hold it up. And that's how I roll. I use auto struts and same vessel collision. That's the better way structurally to do that. Alright, so I have 600 Gs. I'm wondering if there's here, let me get tunage. No, they're not, but they're more Kraken proof than hinges. I'm talking strictly as a locking mechanism. I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? Yeah, we got a decent amount. I have 666,000. Okay. What test, Ambroso? I never have good luck with multi-port docking, ever. Ever. Like, ever. Wait, I thought we had Popsky today. Oh, that's a regular playlist. Hold on, I'm gonna... Basically, the hinges hold everything in terms of efforts, but the ports can be used as bolts to just lock a part of the ship a piece into place. Yeah, I don't like using multi-port docking, because what if one of the outside points docks first, Alex? I don't want that. That's not a good idea. You'll snap the wrong port. I need my primary port to be on the longitudinal axis of the vehicle, or else it won't work. You'll go to separate the vehicle and it'll snap dock to the pad and Kraken strike. So, Alex, how I do it is I have a docking port in the center, and then my posts on the end of the launch box, those are set to root part. So when I dock the SSDO to the pad, everything roots. The launch box basically struts to the SSDO, and then when I move it upright, only the docking port is the separator. I don't like multi-port docking. I've had very bad experiences with it. Yeah. Is the erector just not strong enough? There's nothing wrong with the pad, Hellfish. I missed a step. If I miss a step, of course it's not going to work. Any of these have a really good advance? I'm fine, Bum. I'll be alright. Sunshine, what's going on? I don't have the pad operational, man. As far as I'm concerned, in like canon, I replaced the pad. I can't just redo a launch site, you know? Like, I saw it, Shep. I didn't intend for the vehicle to launch from the runway, Mav, especially with a full tank of gas, so I really don't want to, I don't want to use the vehicle in a way that I didn't design it. You're just suscepting yourself to more failure, dudes. I don't want to do that. I watched part 3, T-Man. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, Green summoned Dan now. But yeah, exactly. Chief, I don't want to... Oh, I mean, like, dude, you know. Like, if you're configuring a dry dock for a ship, right? You can't just put, like, one like small ship in there and set all the blocks down and have the ship go on and then move that out and put a much bigger ship in and just put it right down on the blocks, dude. You have to reconfigure everything. I'm trying to take that into account, dude. And in that regard, I don't want to just put Freedom's pad down or put the X-33's pad down or put Jebstar's pad down. I'm not sure. Either way, I gotta do my time warp, so. Yes, it can't be done, right? That's where I'm at, dude. Like, we gotta do this right. And I have to, like, it's just commitment to continuity, dude. That's just kind of how I have to be, man. How much does the small SSDO cost for a pad, crane, and fuel? I'm pretty sure we could get it done. I have SN10. 10 is over there. I never recovered it. It's over there. I can just drag it back and, you know, we can time warp a little bit into the future and we can put the pad somewhere else. We need a pad, the crane, and fuel, right? Drummer, see, the problem is, guys, whenever I get to... Okay, so here's my thing with checklists, all right? I want to make checklists for this stuff, but I'm always testing. And then by the time we get to operational missions, I don't need the checklist anymore because I have it memorized. And that's what happened with Freedom. I had Freedom's integration memorized because I designed all of it. I didn't need the checklist. I only need the checklist when I'm testing. In which case, if I'm testing, why do I have a checklist? Because I'm testing, right? Like, it's just, this is self-defeating well, not self-defeating. It's every time, dude. I'll have it memorized by the end, you know? I'm not sure. Maybe for chat to go along with. That would probably be a good idea. The main thing I learned from Tim's videos, Elon has gained some pounds in repping the dad nerd bod. Hey, guy does work, man. Plane missions for money? I don't think I have any plane missions, dude. This is all space stuff. Yeah, DIA. There's no polls, necessarily. I just need to find a way to get about 400 Gs, dude. I think that's doable. Oh, that one would have been real nice to get, dudes. It's almost like it knows that I have shuttle stuff going, you know? Elon is in Italy, yep. Need a little bit of a vacation. Sentinel won't fit in the small payload bay, Pilch. Did my own shuttle things in KSP. Nice. It's the wrong type. It's the wrong shuttle, though. I'm trying to see if there's any of the missions that we already had that we can do with the smaller one. We could plunk stuff at the moon, but I'm not sure how much that's gonna do. We could probably do that one. Yeah, we could probably get this one done. Alright. Let's go. So, let's go see how much the pad and everything cost. Yeah, let's do that mission, Jack. This new loading screen takes forever, dude. Alright, so that pad is 330, and then the crane is 121. Yeah, we have enough. We can make the small one work. That's fine. Probably, RJ, yeah. I saw your idea, too. Let me just... Yeah, we'll... Gotta think about that. Good morning, guy. What's up, man? How's that Miniman launch, dude? Yeah, we can make this happen. Let's do it. Yep, okay. Let's do this. Where are you from? The US? From the northeast part of the US, period. North of New York, man. Like way north of New York. I've seen people use the stock transparent flags as glass canopies for cockpits and stuff. Dude, I saw that, Chief. Yeah, that's pretty rad. Fantastic? I mean, Pareed, you know I'm ethnically, I'm very... You don't notice I talk with my hands a lot? You know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about, huh? You're not from the US, you're from Boston. What? Man, Gorlami. Dominica de Coco. You know what I'm talking about? Gabagool. No, don't get me wrong. I'm freaking as American as they come, dude. But yeah. Family, period, my grandmother's from Parma, or was. She's been gone for a long time. Buongiorno. What did chat decide to do last night? Nothing. We gotta... What are those white tiles on the pad? They look clean. They're just panels. Alright, so let's get the crane out here. Yeah, juice bar. Yeah, I know. Yeah. The heck, man, I thought that thing blew up. I'm getting the small SSTO out. I watch. We have to. We have to get the small one working. Last, please. You ever talk to the flag guy about the commie font and letters? No. Prominent? No. No, I haven't yet. Is it capable of docking to the big pad? No, I have the small pad out. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool using the flags as canopies. That's so legit, dude. Alright. Excellent. Where is Lawrence Mass in relation to Boston? I watched this fitness guy on YouTube, but his accent is insane to me as a Texan. Dude, Lawrence is north of here. North of the city by about 30 minutes. It's almost into New Hampshire. Lawrence and Lynn. It's where UMass Lowell is. Lawrence, Lynn, and Lowell. Yeah, man. Dude, it's like luck of the draw nowadays, dude. You don't... If you're from here, like... Some people have it, and some people have the accent, and some people don't, you know? His accent doesn't make sense. I don't hear anything, dude, to be honest with you. I don't hear anything. I've worked with people that... Yeah, sound like they're in The Departed or something, man. Excuse me, The Departed. Yeah, builder. Like, well, I'll be dipped. Alright. Okay. Let's go over here. Do you still live in Boston or are you from Boston? I still live here. Arms, yeah. When you're working out, you're gonna take your arms and you move them like this for your reciprocating dingle arm. Just like that, right? Yeah, I know. I try not to speak like that on stream because it's very distracting. Where's Lawrence, Mass in relation to Boston? I've got these neighbors moving in with the out-of-state plates, and their accents are insane to me. Lawrence is not far from you, Tybot. All right. I need to get some Kerbals out to the pad. That's what I need to do. Do you know the VAOS channel? Vaus channel? No. That was the joke. I'm like, wait, what? Tybot, wait a minute, man. So there's the L's. So there's Lawrence, Lynn, Lowell, and Leominster. In this valley right here. See that? Ever been to the west like Arizona or Nevada? I've been to Tucson before. Yeah. I like Arizona. It's fizz. Yeah. Yeah, see? Pronounce some of these names. People from England can probably pronounce these just fine. Haverhill. Amesbury. Wenham. I think this is out in the Great Plains somewhere. Is Wyoming real? Yes. Gloucester. Gloucester. That's how you say it. We would say Gloucester. Okay, but actually, Wenham. I'm hungry. Yep. Danvers, Peabody. Yep. Wakefield, Saugus. Yeah, drummer, these names look familiar. It's the same names, dude. How do you say that one? How do you say that one? No one's gonna get this one right. How do you say that one? What happened to your hat? It's right here. Woburn is how we say it. Whoa, burn! No, don't say whoa, burn. That's not right. That's an instant way to tell someone, to tell that you're not from around here. Woburn. Yep. Devin has it right. Or Seven has it right. Sorry, I don't know why I thought that was a D. What about this one? Worcester. Worcester there, guy. Who's burnt? Marlborough, Southborough, Framingham. Actually, say Framingham. That's where I worked. There's the Best Buy that I worked at. It's right there. In Shoppers World there, guy. Natick, Wellesley, and then Newton. That's where I'm from right there. That's where all the rich people are, dude. Like right here. Dude, some of the houses in there, holy crap, man. Rockport. Boom. Worcester, kid. Yeah, you gotta go out to Worcester. You gotta take 290 out to Worcester there, guy, from 495. It's Porsche. Yeah, right. KSP and his SSTO is similar to mine. Yep. Is this the new style, wearing the hat over the headphones? Dude, I look like I want to go get a Miller Genuine Draft right now. How do you say that one? I say that one right there. That's where my dad's from. It's wicked pisser there, dude. That's right there, guy. That accent in a cleater hat? Yeah, I know, right? Quincy, yeah. That's where my dad grew up. My dad grew up on Furnace Brook Parkway, guy. Like right in here. Used to jump in the quarries for fun. And then my grandfather worked at the Four River Shipyard. That's why I know so much about it. Battleships were built here, and aircraft carriers. If you live in Texas, anybody from Corpus, the Lexington, yeah, it's built right there. Yep. And Remo and I go down the beach around here. In this area. Loving the tunes? Right on. Hey, I can see my house! Yeah, there you go. Attleboro, Taunton, Middleborough. Yeah, see? And then there's Fall River. Fall River there. There's actually a battleship there, guy. Look at that thing. Hell yeah. Big Mamie. This is a sweet museum. Seriously, if you're ever in Fall River or you're ever near it, go to Battleship Cove. Battleship Cove is sick. It's such a great museum. Yeah, it's also the photogrammetry is missing the front. Well, the front fell off, guys. See, the front fell off. You have a Truro there too. Yep. Truro's over here. It's out on the end of the Cape. Provincetown, North Truro, Truro, Wellfleet, Eastham, Orleans, Chatham, Harwich. I know these are all Yarmouth, Hyannis, Barnstable. Yeah, it's all. These are all. It ain't called New England for no reason. Sandwich. The food isn't really good there. Just kidding. At least you pronounced Truro correctly. Yeah. All right, let's go. I need to get Kerbals out to the pad so we can move the crane into position. Here. Freaking American will cleaner it up today. Why is your hat so high? Because it was on my headphones, dude. A shark. Oh yeah, there's sharks out there on the Cape there. Yeah, gotta be careful. Where's the truck? We need Gleblers, and we need Herbals. Alright, let's go. Alright, we gotta go fish SN10 out from the service yard. I should really put a hanger out there. How are the waves up there? The surf kind of sucks, dude. It's not the best. We gotta get a storm up here, T-Man, for the waves to be good for surfing. I assume that's what you're talking about. My bad, I didn't mean to start a thing. I just usually see you with a hat on. I don't care. American, I've been trying to wear it. I've been trying to not wear hats as much because hats do actually make you go bald. Yeah, That actually is a thing. My hair has definitely gotten thicker. Don't get me wrong, it's still thinning. Like, I get it. Like, but yeah, no, not wearing hats has definitely helped in that regard. Like, but it's just mitigated the problem. It hasn't gotten rid of it. All right, we got to go get the SSTO. Let's do this. Let's go take a ride with the scooter, man. Never wore hats. I'm bald in my 20s. I call BS. There's this thing called genetics that they invented, Rogaine. Yeah. Yeah. Excess testosterone deposits in your scalp is causing baldness. Can you make a crane and... Can you make a crane in that with no DLCs? Yes, I have made cranes without robotics. Yeah, I've done it. It's tough, but I've done it. The real kick in the you know what is when my barber gave me my first haircut, told my mom I'd go bald young. He was right. I'm not going bald, Duber. My hair is just thinning. It's just thinning badly. Like, it's not falling out. It's still there, and it's definitely not graying either. It's just thin. That's all. It kind of blows, dude. Hats don't make you go bald. Yeah. See, Tylen, I can't help but think that if I said, oh, you know, hats don't make you go bald, that there'd be a bunch of people in chat saying, yes, they absolutely do. I don't know, man. Got that checklist made yet? No. Do you have the no DLC crane for download? I don't, Regaro, no. I never made an actual crane with the DLCs. It can be done, though. So, hear me out. I never made a crane, even though I could. I proved that it could be done, but I never did it. I'll show you what I did make, though. I never made a crane without the robotics, but I did make a mate-demate device for the shuttle. I mean, that's not entirely true, but, here. I gotta find the dang thing. I gotta find pictures of it. The MDD. Is that it? That's Condor's pad. Here it is. Alright. So, check this out. I made something to pick my space shuttle up. And put it on the 7.4. It's all good, dudes. Don't worry about the hair thing. My hair is coming back, so that's good. It's just thin. So what I did was, I have a bunch of structural tubes, and then I have a bunch of air brakes that clip into the structural tubes, and then I have a Stayputnik. See the probe core up there? Or no, that's the docking port. There's a Stayputnik, the spherical probe core, and the air brakes just, it's a separate vehicle, and the air brakes just push it up the tube. I literally made it's a gantry crane, and I used it to put the shuttle on my 747 to do approach and landing tests. I could do this. We could do this in other things. Like, you could use this to make a crane, but I never did. You think so, Twitch? Yeah. Yeah, that's when we tested out the shuttle. And then I took the shuttle, lifted it up, put it back on the vehicle again, took off again, and then we did another... Ready? I took a picture of it this time. See? Yeah. And then I put it on the transporter. And then they changed the docking port hierarchy, so it immediately broke it. Oops. Yeah, Jim, I did. How did that plane not crash? I set the 747 to trim. I set it trimmed up, so it would do this. So the second I dropped the shuttle went down, and then the 747 went up. So I landed the shuttle, and the 747 would just keep going up until it stalled. But I could usually land the shuttle, switch back to the 747, and then fly it around and land it. That's good, Jack. Yeah, drummer. I miss DJ. Yeah, I still listen to music before stream, J-Speed. I was listening to Slippery When Wet by that album by Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi? No. Hey, Slippery When Wet's a good album, dude. And what did the shuttle do? Landed. I landed it. The bit of EJ being kicked out by the mayor was fun. Yeah. Where's my sandwich? Yep. Mm-hmm. Look at the little mini jet truck. So 10 is up and running, but what payload is in there? I don't think I ever completed payload processing of the thing that I brought back down when we went to make the big one work. I think the crew tank is still in there. Yeah, it is. All right. Nah, dude, there's only Slippery When Wet's okay. There's only a couple of songs from that I really enjoy. I like Let It Rock and the song from Spaceballs, Raise Your Hands. Everything else is overplayed. The other stuff I was listening to is I've been listening to British Steel by Judas Priest. Hey Vin, what's going on? Is this a junkyard? No, it's my service area. And then I've been listening to Led Zeppelin 3. Let's see, what else? Painkiller? Hell yeah, man. Yeah, Judas Priest is amazing, man. Twisted Sister? Yeah. That's the kind of music that I like. I used to play it all the time on stream. Can't do that anymore, though. Can't do that. I used to listen to just Led Zeppelin and Judas Priest, Maiden. I don't mind Metallica, but I don't really go listening to them. Growing up in the days of Napster and Kazaa made me not like Metallica as much. Listen to a lot of Rush, AC/DC. My music taste is my dad's music taste for the most part. I like a lot of blues, but also Southern rock too. I like Molly Hatchet. Hell yeah. Allman Brothers, Leonard Skinner, Van Halen, not Van Hagar. No, I like all Van Halen music. I really, except for when Gary Cherone was there. He was okay, but He wasn't Sammy, and he certainly wasn't DLR either. True or false? Is there never a bad time to listen to Symphony Disruption? Oh, man, dude. Symphony is amazing. What an amazing song. Any Kenny Rogers? Sometimes. Yeah, Tylen, I actively turn off Metallica songs when I hear them on the radio. Like, if I'm driving in a car, because the Mustang has a normie radio. I know. FM radio. I get it. Yeah, I avoid. I changed the station. I like Pantera. Yeah, Pantera's good. Thanks, Red. Hell yeah. Yeah, Van Halen is my favorite. Van Halen's probably my favorite band. I love Eddie. Hell yeah, dude. That is my favorite. That ship looks really cool. Thanks. We're not ghost riding it. I'm just giving it a tow. Heard Wolfgang. Wolfie's stuff is okay, Blue. It's not bad. Dude, I have to constantly remind myself that Eddie is not with us anymore. It really screws with me sometimes. Yeah, it's some real existential stuff. Just like Neil Peart. Neil Peart didn't die in my mind. He's still alive, and he's making music, and Rush is still touring, okay? And Eddie's still alive. I just listened to his music the other day. Like, everything's fine. Everything is fine. And then Dusty. Oh, we lost Dusty from ZZ Top. Oh. No. Stop dying, damn it. Do you have a Patreon? No. Oh, I love Queen, Blue. Freddie's amazing. I was talking, dude, when I was talking with the Asteroid Day people, we were talking about what Brian May did after Freddie passed. He went back to school and got his degree in astrophysics, and he founded B612. Yeah, I was like 2 degrees of separation away from Brian May. That was pretty neat. Freddie's fine. Yeah. Tonight I'm gonna have myself a real good time. I feel alive. Yeah, man. Robin Williams still alive. Yeah, absolutely. Queen is 400% overrated. Dude, creator, as somebody that's liked Queen for a very long time, my parents let me watch Wayne's World when I was like 4. Yes, 4. They probably put it on to get me to shut up or something, knowing me, right? I've liked Queen for a very long time. Yeah, very, very long time. Dude, the work that they put into their songs, dude. Oh. If you had a Patreon, I would join it? Oh, thanks. I don't know, man. It's a little easier on the books to have everything all the income come from one place, you know? I like the Beatles at Mana, but I don't need to seek them out. I don't, Oh, that's just the body flaps. It's not like we need those or anything. It's a little bit harder to fly, Duber, because it has less momentum than the other one. If you're gonna spew into this. Oh, Ben, yes! Yes! That's awesome, dude. Should have taken that left at Albuquerque. I don't know, man. I just want to make sure I'm making an honest buck, dude. I have rules about that. Like, I don't want to double dip like that, dude. That's messed up. In my mind. It's probably totally fine by you guys' standards, but dude, I have to hold myself really accountable with stuff. Like the SSTO, for instance. If I don't, then it's not gonna get done, and I'm gonna half-ass it because I know me. I know how I work. Know thyself. It's very important. Do you know what orbital drift compensation is in the game settings? Not really, X. No. I mean, yeah, if you guys wanted to upgrade your sub tier, that would probably be the way to do it if you want to support me more, like, or just tip the stream. But please, you know I don't like asking. I'm not going to. I want to earn it. You know what I mean? Queen's my favorite, man. It keeps me honest, American. Don't do it. Hoovy made an OnlyFans, safe for work, etc., and I guess too many people didn't like it. Why the hell would you make an OnlyFans? Why would you do that? Hey, John, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Nah, dude, I like... Dude, I don't know. It's kind of a personal thing. I think there's so much... Everybody's trying to make a quick buck, dude. And I can't stand that stuff, man. There's so much superfluous crap out there that we waste money on. I don't know. I just kind of want to go against the grain in that regard, dude. And I'm not saying, like, we shouldn't do that. You know, if that's... You know, if people want to go... If that's how people make themselves happy, by going and spending money on whatever, hey, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. It's not about... It's me. Like, that's my personal thing, you know? Like, if somebody, you know, gets fulfillment and enjoyment off of buying new things or like, having, like, a nutcracker collection or something, like, I don't know, I don't care. That doesn't bother me. I want to be against the grain. It's not about making other people think that same way, you know? If I had a metric ton of money, what would I spend it on? I would invest, American. Invest. Make your money work for you. I mean, heck, that's what I do right now. Don't diss nutcrackers! Yeah. I just kind of want to go against the grain, dude. That's all. And that's why I hold myself to such high standards. You won't see anybody else punish themselves as hard as I do for screwing up. But that, once again, that's how you learn. It's made me a better person. Don't you understand? It's made me a better person. I'm a lot more honest with myself. And the worst, dude, I know people spout this crap all the time. Oh, the worst thing you could do is lie to yourself, dude. Like, I know that if I don't hold myself to these high standards, I just won't do it. Like, I just won't care. I have to. It's the only way I work. I never learned how to learn right, remember? I dicked off in high school and played video games all day. I mean, that kind of worked out in that regard, but not everybody can do this, you know? Copium. 2 more weeks, man. 2 weeks. I don't know. Yeah, the Titan 1 missile silo idea. The Titan 1 missile silo vault idea, Snackless, was pretty dope. That was a pretty good idea. I gotta hold myself to higher standards, dude. Or else I won't. I just won't do it. I don't like doing a half-assed job. I really, really, really don't. It really bothers me. But so that's what I do. Like, I invest. I invest in. I mean, Primo and I have stock. I have stocks in Boeing, dude. We made some pretty decent money off that. We bought GameStop on the when it went through the roof, and we've made tons of money on that. All the money that we made from that GameStop thing, I put right back into the stock market. And look, yeah, some of those stocks aren't doing well, but you have. And once again, I'm not trying to become like Stock Guy over here, who's a fantastic streamer, by the way. I love that guy. I watch his stream a lot. Like, there's long-term stock investments, and then there's short-term stuff. We're in Boeing for the long term. I didn't invest in Boeing to make a quick buck. You know, and don't get me wrong, I don't let who I invested in the stock market influence my judgment when it comes to space news and stuff. Like, I don't say good things about Boeing because I want Boeing stock to do good because I want to make money. That's stupid. I want Boeing to launch into space because I want to see things launch into space, you know, if you really want the honest truth. I'm pushing it to the pad, Pixel. I had to go pick it up. Yeah, also not a financial advisor. Yeah, that's right. So you have long-term investments, dude. If you, like, that's the thing, dudes. If you can make enough money, you can you just let that money work for you. You just let it accrue interest. And that interest will compound over time, and you'll make tons of cash. I mean, there's also inflation and stuff, but yeah, no. I'm not the worst with economics, but I'm not the best either. Hey, Pale, what's going on, bro? So it flew, that's great. This is the small SSTO, Angry Pixel. The small SSTO has flown 5 times. The big one blew up on the pad. Yeah, and I lost a ton of money. Yeah, it exploded on the pad. So we need to get the small one up and running. Yeah. It was horrible. Yeah. Well, one thing that I've had to do, creator, is I've had to start building up credit, which is... If I want to take out like a mortgage, if I want to buy a house and stuff, I got to build up credit and show that I can pay off stuff on time, because my student loans, which I've been paying for better part of a decade here, that doesn't count. It's because student loan debt is different than regular credit card. Like, credit card debt is different than student loan debt. We have debt classifications, which is a pain in the butt. So I have a credit card, but I spend it like it's so counterintuitive. I hate debt. I hate it so much. So basically, what I do is I'll go to the grocery store and I'll swipe the card at the grocery store. I'll swipe the credit card, and then I come home and I just pay it. It's like an extra step. It's an extra step to show people that I can spend that I'll pay it off, right? But it's so counterintuitive. But yeah, I understand why. Can we scrap the SSDO program and save 30 billion? Wait, how are you running 2 trucks at once? I'm just switching back and forth. I'm switching back and forth between vehicles, dude. That's all. Yeah, you can pay it all at the end of the month, Jack, but I'm like, I do not want my, see, your debt can accrue interest as well. It's, I don't like it. I don't like that. Your debt can accrue interest, so if you leave it there, it'll grow. You'll end up having to pay more money, so I just try to pay it right away. I understand why, I get it, but I'm not that big of a fan. I really don't like going into debt for things. I don't like spending beyond my means. I really don't. But yeah, I understand why we do it. It makes I get it. Like I understand the system. I'm not one of those people that's like, I don't like my student loan, so we should just have those not exist. I don't like it, so it shouldn't exist. I'm not like that. No. How's your credit score? If you never took any loans. Oh, I have a monstrous student loan, human person. It counts towards my credit score. I've been paying a student loan off for 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. I started paying it in 2009, so more than 10 years. Why not have a car loan? I do have a car loan, Thorn. Well, I did. I own all my cars. I paid the Mustang. I paid for that. I paid for that with debt, and then I paid it off. I paid towards the principal every time. I overpaid, and the bank was like, "No, you don't need to do that." I'm like, "Yes, I do. I hate you. No way." Hey, Paganel, 48 months. But yeah, I stop the truck for a second. We gotta. Yeah, no, I know, Hellfish, yeah. Both vehicles are out of the high bay. Yep. Take my advice with a grain of salt. But you can game credit scores. I opened up several credit cards in my early 20s and they just sit in my dresser. So if and when I use them, utilization is super low and I essentially never need new credit cards, so I really have an inquiry. Yeah, I never did that, dude, because I don't like debt. But we have, if Remo and I want to buy a house, we have to, which is annoying. But that's okay. Debt to credit ratio is key. Yep. Once again, guys, I understand why credit and stuff exists. I don't like it. I don't like doing that. I don't like spending beyond my means because I'm a freaking simpleton. I like paying for stuff outright. Transactions like that, where it just I'm not that big of a fan. But yeah, I mean, I have to show that I can pay if anybody is gonna refinance my damn student loans, right? So we can refinance and I can pay lower and then I can spend more money on a mortgage. It's this whole Bananarama system here, but whatever. Like, I get it. I understand why it exists. I understand why it works. Like, I'm not gonna. We'll figure out a way to do it. Yeah. So yeah, Jack. What I do is Bremo and I will go when we go get groceries. We just pay with the credit card and then we just pay it right off. I don't like the idea. I don't like debt. I just really don't like it. I understand why it exists, and other people can use debt to their advantage. I get it. Debt is just a tool to achieve financial success. Yeah, I know that sounds really stupid, right? It sounds very counterintuitive, but I get it. So, like, if you want to buy a house, right? You want to buy a house, you want to buy cars, you want to spend a little bit beyond your means, and you're good for it, that's fine. Like, loans, I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me. I personally don't like it. I don't understand why you can't get out of student loan debt through bankruptcy. Yeah, bankruptcy. Yeah, you can't do that. In 2005, Rule 8 people switched. They switched it. They classified student loan debt as a different type of debt, and you cannot default on it. So it stuck with me. So I gotta pay it. Whatever. I'll pay it off. It's fine. It's annoying, but I'll pay it off. Yeah, I got Pops going today. Hey, it's fine, guys. Like, It's annoying. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like it isn't, but I just use that as motivation to do better. That's all. There you go, Steve. Yeah, there you go. Feel free to completely ignore this question, but what's the reason behind not paying off your student loan debt? Oh, Lunchbox, it's exorbitant. Full Sail is a for-profit school, and I'm not saying that Full Sail is bad. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. When I went to Full Sail, dude, I went to college pre-recession, so it was a little different back then. Hey, Bubs, what's going on? So Full Sail doesn't have housing. There's no dorms because it's a for-profit school. So I had to subsidize living in Florida for 2 years through my student loans, which sucks. Yeah. Oh yeah. And the interest rates are absurd. I have to refinance it, but I can't refinance it until I build up credit, which is such a pain in the butt, dude. What's your interest rate on the loan? You don't want to know. You do not want to know. It's bad. It's let's just say it's above 5. Yeah. And I can't refinance it. I can't refinance my student loan because I don't have the credit to refinance my student loan, because me not missing a payment for 10 years on my student loan doesn't count as the type of credit that I need to refinance my student loan. Not like this. Not like this. Not like this. MC, hey, nobody put a gun to my head and said, do this, dude. I roll with the punches, man. I always have. I'm not going to sit here and complain about it, and dude, that's not how I was brought up. I'll figure it out, and I am figuring it out. Don't worry about me. I don't like talking about this. I ain't some goddamn charity case. Screw that. I don't work like that. I'm old, dude, I'm old school. That's how I was brought up. And I know, I get it. Like, oh, you did it. Dude, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, dudes. I'll take care of it. Look at what I can make in this. I'll figure it out. I'm smart. I'm smart enough. I'll get it. Urban, thank you for the raid, man. Look, I just set the difficulty level high for myself when I was 18. I set the difficulty level of IRL to maximum. Oh well. Spatuous, hey, my economic problems are not the government economics problems, dude. They have their own damn debt problems, man. They have their own damn debt problems, dude. They don't need mine. I don't want them to have mine. Hell, screw that, man. No way. They can piss off. I don't want them in my business at all. So I figure, you know, like that, dude. Hey, it is what it is, man. Like, I'm not happy about it, but I'll figure it out. I'm smart. I'll take care of it. And one thing I was taught to do is never blame people for your problems. Nobody put a gun to my head and made me sign that student loan. I wanted to go live in Florida, and I wanted to get away from Massachusetts. I wanted to go live in Florida, and you know, go to Disney World every day and stuff. I was a stupid 18-year-old, man. That's not anybody else's problem but mine. Spoken like a true American. Hey, we have grit over here, Dead Crew. We got grit. There's millions of us that are like this. I'm serious. You guys overseas only hear the annoying ones, all right? And the annoying ones are damn annoying, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. We got grit, man. That's why I like people from this country so much, dude. Friggin', dude, take the biggest slap across the face. We just keep going. It's really cool. It's really inspiring stuff. Like, look at like SpaceX, for instance, or NASA, or anything else like that, dude. There's tons of endeavors like that all around the U.S. for people doing stuff like that. It's so damn inspiring. We persevere and we keep going despite all this bull crap, dude. It's really cool to see. It really makes me proud to be part of this country. I'm not kidding. Yeah, MC, it's all good. I missed the latter half of the last stream. What is this new part of the pad? Well, Pearl, I had the big SSTO out on the pad last night, and I missed a step in integration, and it blew up the entire pad in the SSTO. I am out 500 Gs, and I can't launch the big one. So I took the small one out of mothballs, and we're gonna get SN10 working today, and we're gonna do some missions. I'm just gonna grind it back out, man. It's a $500,000 mistake. DeJong, 6-month resub. Thanks, man. Look at this bit of history in the fireball. Let me see. Yeah, baby. Oh, don't make me remember that Delta 4 medium doesn't exist anymore, Phil. Let's see.
Miko is on. ATC 1, verify your name.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Miko confirmed. 9.
I've touched that booster, Phil. Touched the CBC prototype. Why is this not motorized? Rover wheels are very, very weak, and they like to pop. So, guys, what you're looking at here is an integration crane. This is the part of the big SSTO pad that I never built. The small SSTO, I have a crane, and that crane can move. See? And I can pick up payloads off the ground and put them in the SSTO. 100% reuse, dudes. The condition that it's in right now is so depressing. Yeah, you're telling me. Yeah, Dave, I figured out... No, Dave, I don't know that one. I figured out that Kerbals pushing it is a lot easier. And landing gear can retract, guys. So, here's my thing about the crane. And this, I learned this from from the real pads, alright? Here, let's take a look at Slick 6, alright? Slick 6 is the Delta 4 pad out at Vandenberg. It was a shuttle pad. Yeah. There's another story here that the Air Force built a multi-billion-dollar shuttle launch complex out at Vandenberg, finished it, and then promptly never used it, and mothballed it. Yeah. There's a reason why I don't want these people in charge of my finances. Yeah. Yeah, nope. Yep, you don't come near my money. Go away. Go away. Get out of here. So, they built Slick 6, but Slick 6 was a different kind of shuttle pad. Sorry, I didn't mean to get preachy like that, but you know what I mean. So these buildings right here, the one that says USAF, and this one over here that looks like an upside-down Tetris piece, right? These things actually, they do exactly what the pads do. They raise up. These things have like 2 SPMTs that are on railroad tracks on either side, and it raises the entire building up and they move it. But when the building is actually there's a gantry crane in here, and you can see the gantry crane right there to build the shuttle stack, right? When they do stuff like that, they raise the railroad tracks, and the building sets down on a foundation. I actually have pictures if you guys want to see. I went on a deep dive one time, and I have tons of pictures from Slick 6 because I wanted to build Slick 6 in KSP for my space shuttle. It's in here somewhere. Yeah, see? There's the railroad tracks for the buildings right there. Nice K5. And then there's posts that they can set the buildings down on. The posts that they can set the buildings down on is the key. That's the key right here. So it's not like the ML, not like this. I mean, well, that thing does the same thing. It raises the entire MLP up, and then it sets it down on the pad. I do that with buildings. We could do that with a crawler transporter. Hey, how'd that sneak in here? We could do that with a CT if we want. But these buildings are designed to raise up on railroad tracks and then move down. It's like it's a bunch of railroad trucks with wheels on them that can just lifts it up and then it plops it down. I love this picture just because I want everything in this picture. I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that C600 fire truck right there. I want that, and I definitely want that. The space plane that was just pictured is currently located in my hometown at an aviation museum. Enterprise? You live in Manhattan? Dude, Das and I, before the pandemic, me and a business buddy of mine, we used to do streams from the shuttle pavilion. No, the plane from earlier. Oh, 905. Because it ain't the T-38. You're talking about 905. That sucker right there. Actually, that's 911. 905 is in Houston. There's two of these things. NASA bought two of them. They have 911 and 905. What about the car on the hill? Let me see. What was the car on the hill? I don't know what that is. I can't see it. There's two of them, Dave. There's two shuttle carriers. But yeah, here, let me get back. There's a picture of the Vandenberg buildings. So, you see that? That's the railroad track, and then they have posts. They have posts that they lift up, and then they place the buildings down. The building isn't mobile so much as like a giant forklift goes underneath it, lifts it, and moves the entire damn building, which is pretty damn impressive. Oh, I wish. So, like, the whole thing lifts up, and then it sets down on posts. You can see the stopper for it right there. Or no, that's the stopper for the MST, for this one. And the buildings actually converge, and they sit on top of each other, which is really freaking cool. Slick 6 was awesome. Oh, here's a much better picture. See the tracks right there? And then there's the posts for the buildings. They sit on these, right? On right there, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those things with the 4 pegs in them. So they sit on those. And I took a page from that. You can literally see the whole system working right there. There's the train tracks, right? And I took an idea directly from that, and that's how I make my pads. Now, I can't. It's really difficult to make a motorized part that can change its ride height like that and set down somewhere else. I probably could do it. People have made SPMTs, self-propelled modular transporters, in KSP. I've seen people do it. But I was worried about part count with the entire pad complex. So literally landing gear can change its ride height. It's really freaking strong, so it can hold up the entire crane, right? And I figured out later that Kerbals are absurdly strong and can push buildings. Dude, it's seriously the easiest way. Why build an SPMT that lifts this whole thing up? That's like 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 or 70 parts, where I have to have one lift up on one side and one lift up on the other side, and then I have to move them in tandem. It's a big pain in the butt. Big waste of time. Kerbal is one part. A Kerbal is one part, and it moves. Easier. Much easier. I mean, I took a little bit of a page out of Elon Musk's book there, but... Green, you don't want to see the T-38s retired? Well, the thing about that is, once they retire, they're going to enter the civilian market, dude. We got to move the crane back if I want to do integration. Is it possible to make a crane by adding landing legs to the ends of each other? No, you can't add landing legs on landing legs, Regaro. From the mind of an engineer, how are you? What do you mean, Heinz? From the mind of an engineer? Oh, I'm good, man. I had a little bit of a problem yesterday, but that wasn't really with engineering with the SSTOs. That was more end user. That's why engineers don't like dealing with customers. They're replacing them with TXs. I forget what the name of these things are. The T7, there we go. They're replacing them with those things. Boeing is making a... Boeing actually got a huge contract last year to make these things. To make new trainers to replace the T-38s. Dude, Jim, the T-38s are from when you were in high school, dude. They're old. Not to knock on you, man. I mean... freaking... I was in high school a long period of time ago, so... I mean, the T-38s are from the 60s. They're made by Northrop. Northrop hasn't existed as an entity for a long time. It's Northrop Grumman. No, Pilch, I don't dock the crane with the pad. No. Bad idea. The only time that the crane docks with a pad is when I put a payload into the SSTO. I agree, Heinz, but there's only so much a T-38 is going to teach you, dude. You can't... I understand why they're replacing the T-38. So, the T-38 is only... Like I said, that thing's only going to teach you so much. It's only going to teach you so much. This is a plane from the 60s. Alright? Like, it's a plane from the 60s and into the 70s. This thing... I mean, this will train you to fly an F-4, or an F-15, or an F-14, right? It ain't going to train you to fly this. It ain't going to train you to fly that, that's for sure. Or an F-35. It's a MiG-28, yeah. Well, actually, MiG-28s weren't T-38s. They were F-5s. Northrop made an export fighter. And then the two-seater variant of that export fighter, called an F-5, is the T-38. So there's the... That's a MiG-28 right there. F-5s are a good plane, dude. Really, they are. T-38s are a great plane. They're really good. They just don't carry guns. The F-5 does. The T-38 does not. The T-38 specifically has no weapons pylons on purpose. It's just designed to introduce people into flying twin-engine jet fighters. That's it. Yeah, Jax. Hey, French, what's going on? T-38s are very, very cool planes. They're very simple. Very simple, and they made a ton of them. I like T-38s. They're pretty cool. And then there's of course the Russian counterpart, which is the... Well, it's not Russian. It's not Russian, but the Soviet counterpart was the L-39. That's the Soviet trainer plane. It's the counterpart. It's the T-38's counterpart. Just like an A-10, the Su-25 is the A-10's counterpart, and the F-15 is the MiG-29's counterpart. They have their own trainer plane. It's the L-39, which was Czech, if I'm remembering right. Yeah. Vodachody. Aero Vodachody. Looks like an A4. Yeah, I see the A4 there, but it's definitely... This is its own thing, dude. L-39s are cool. Very, very fun plane to fly. From what I heard, I've never flown one. I've never flown any plane, but... You've made ejector seats for the F-5 too? That's cool, Jack. Hell yeah. Surely nothing can counterpart the A-10, though. Well, the Russians do have an A-10 counterpart, but... It's not as well equipped as the A-10. And we've talked about doctrine here for a little while. This is the A-10's counterpart, the Su-25. It does have a on it. It has a 30mm cannon on it, but it's not a minigun. It's just a cannon. Just dug, 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 dug. The reason why is because the U.S. doesn't field as many tanks. Okay, so cast your mind back to the Cold War, okay? Cast your mind back to the Cold War. It's 1987, right? The reason why the A-10 exists is because the Russians to defend Soviet territory, right? So if you look, right? If you look at the Soviet Union right here, right? A little bit of a history lesson. There's this thing. There's a mountain range, basically, that runs all through here, down here, like that. It's a natural barrier. Up here, through Germany, through Poland, and into, well, I mean, there's, wait, well, okay, so that's East Germany, that's Poland, because it's the Cold War, right? And basically, the Cold War starts right here. That's where the Iron Curtain is, right? East Germany and West Germany, right? And this area right here, all the way down to Madrid, basically all the way down to Gibraltar, is flat. It's very flat. And that flatness, that steppe, if you will, goes all the way out to the Ural Mountains out here. So the Russians have a lot of land to defend. They have a lot of it's basically an open border right there. Like, you have to defend that in military doctrine, right? So they fielded a lot of tanks. That's the only way to do it. How else are you going to defend 1,000 kilometers of border like that? There's no frigging way. There's no way you're going to do it. You can't, like, put a battleship in the middle there. I'm pretty sure World War II showed that having, like, a defensive line, that doesn't work. Bad idea. So they fielded tanks. The Russians, to this day, still field a ton of main battle tanks. But the Soviets had a ton of tanks, and the idea was that screw defending it. Make as many tanks as you want to, and then shoot them through that gap. That's called the Volga Gap, right? Shoot them through that Volga Gap and literally take all of Europe in one shot, blitz style. Basically, what the Germans did, right? When they went west, same exact thing. They wanted to do the same thing, so they had a lot of tanks. The U.S. tried to counter that with the A-10. That's why they gave the A-10 that 30mm cannon, because it's designed to take out tanks. So they also designed it to be a close air support weapon, right? So the Su-25 is a close air support plane, just like the A-10. It's its closest counterpart, but it's not designed to do the exact thing, because the U.S. focused more on mobile doctrine, right? How the U.S. works is mobility. We can move around real quick and send a decent enough force anywhere in the world really quickly. That's how, like with the aircraft carriers and stuff, that's how we do things. The Russians don't really. The Soviets at the time didn't really have that. Their doctrine is much more land-based because, spoiler alert, Russia has more land to defend. Huh, interesting. Yeah, they gave that 30mm cannon some jet and some wings. So yeah, it does have a counterpart. The Su-25 is the counterpart to the A-10. But it's not as well equipped, but it is a close air support plane. But it's not the A-10. It's not the... Build a wall for the Germans to march around. Well, let's see. Let's look at World War II history, and let's figure out... Let's see. So, the French built the Maginot Line. That didn't end well. The Germans built the Siegfried Line to counter the Maginot Line. That also didn't end well. Yeah, don't do that. Don't try to bunker yourself down in a blitz. Bad idea. Very bad idea. That never works. Don't build the castle, all right? It'll sink into the swamp. Then it'll burn down, fall over, and then sink into the swamp. Yeah. You were talking about the USSR. Did you know the story about a Soviet soldier who prevented World War III? I know about that. I think his name was Fyodor Galactic. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The thing that happened with Norway? Yeah. When Norway launched a rocket and the Soviet systems malfunctioned and they thought it was an incoming missile, and the guy said, no. That's not what's going on here. I'm not ready to kill millions of people because that's not what's happening. Let's not do that. Yeah. Yeah, no, I know all about that. Sorry for reposting, but I'm pissed. What's that, Alex? Wait, what? Hold on. Dude kept his cool. You have to if you're a missileer, dude. You have to. You can't play games like that. Thanks, French. Sorry, you're reposting, but I'm pissed. Simon Veil's grave was vandalized with wartime Germany iconography this morning in France. FYI, Simon Veil was a famous Jewish refugee that survived the camps with a tattoo and then advocated for women's rights in the French government. An uphill but groundbreaking battle for recognition. And some guys put crosses on his grave today. Classy. Simone, oh yeah, okay. I'm sorry, my French is not very good. Simone Veil, oh, okay, alright. I'm fuming. Hey, Alex, look. Those people are dicks, dude. They're dicks. But think about it, man. They're also trolls. They're trying to elicit a response by doing that, obviously. Right? Now, don't get me wrong. You have the right to be pissed off. Everyone has a right to be pissed off. It's very, very, very stupid that we're easy to forget that point in history. But you know what you do to fix it? Teach it. That's what I do. But above all else, I teach people to critically think. Or at least I try to. I don't know how well it's working. I critically think myself, dude. So, I mean, Alex, use that don't be pissed. Those people just want attention. Use that motivation to be the change you want to see, dude. Trust me on this one. Don't feed them. Don't feed the trolls, dude. There's trolls in real life. Heck, all of human history, like 90% of human history, can be attributed to someone trolling somebody else. Seriously, that's what we do. Don't give them the attention. Screw those guys. Focus on the good things. And I'm not saying ignore that either. They should be punished for that. Whoever did that should really read a history book. That I mean, at the very least. But the crane can't dock to the pad, Pilch. Sorry for reposting, but I'm pissed. Your mother is a nice person and your face is a rocket. Got him. Thanks, Roger. How are you? Alex, use it. Use it for something else, man. Turn it into something else. Turn it into motivation to be the change that you want to see in the world, homie. Trust me. Don't get worked up about it. You're just gonna hurt yourself, and you're gonna do something dumb. Don't do anything. Keep it cool. Keep your cool. Like, be like De Gaulle, man. De Gaulle had to stare that beast right in the frickin' face, dude. Did he lose his cool? Nope. I mean, De Gaulle lost his friggin' country. Well, it wasn't his fault. I'm okay. Happy Wednesday. Good luck on your mission mode today. Yeah, we got the small SSTO out, and we're gonna use this to try and grind out some missions to get enough money back. Norway's dealt with trolls for thousands of years. What are they doing up there? I never know what they're doing up there. Anyway, alright. Alex, I know you have a right to be pissed off, but you know what the biggest screw you is to people that are going to try to get you pissed off? Ignoring them. It's bullcrap that they did that, and the people should be found. And don't worry, they probably will. They'll do something about it, don't you worry. I mean, Europeans know pretty firsthand how that's probably not a good thing to deface, you know, a Holocaust survivor's grave. That's probably not a good idea. Yeah, those people should hang. Like, I get it, but, dude, don't be like them. Screw that. We're better than that. What's up, Harp? Yeah, Leahy, that's right. Hey, all I can say to people, dude, people, like, Leahy, I mean, you know, dude, people come at me with all kinds of problems, dude. EJ, what should I do about this? Be the change you want to see. Guys, that's all I can say. I can't say anymore. Like, if I say any more, it's bringing conjecture in. I want the space program to do better. So what do I do about it? I don't just sit here and say the space program should be better. I teach people why the space program needs to be better. And I teach people why certain space policies are good and bad. But at the end of the day, I try to get you guys to think. Try to get you guys to, I try to explain and articulate my points in a way that people can understand to show that this is a good thing. This is worthwhile. We should do this. I be the change that I want to see. That's very important. Nothing much, my man. Yeah, dude, I saw the show and tell. That rocks. Nice Cletus hat. Can't wait to see the Stranger Danger Ranger. Yep. Don't be like them, dude. Evil begets evil, dude. Learn that from the Fifth Element. If somebody, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, if someone comes up and hits you in the face, then, I mean, I would throw a punch back. I'm not gonna lie to you. I ain't perfect, but there's a difference between physically confronting somebody and then doing some cowardly stuff like that, you know? If you want to solve your problems with some fisticuffs, dude, I don't, you know, like, and I probably shouldn't say that, but, you know, that's defacing the grave like that is not solving your problems with fisticuffs. That's cowardly. Because, you know, you did it anonymously. If you really wanted to make a point, you'd put your face out there, but you can't do that because you're a wimp. Straight up. Which leads me to believe it's just another frigging troll. Screw those people. Don't listen to them. Ignore them. The Fifth Element. Yeah, the Supreme Being sent to chat to save the Chatterverse. Do you remember how the crane used to blow up all the time? Yeah, Pilch. All right. Great words. Let's hope it works out. I'll have to make a potato salad. Hey. Like I said, dude, be like De Gaulle. De Gaulle wouldn't have taken that. He would have just been like, wow, really, dude? And then he would have done something about it. Something different, you know, not just, wow, you're an idiot. Actions speak louder than words, man. Every time, every day of the week. Is it okay to punch moon landing deniers? The only people that reserve the right to do that, learn proud, is people that have walked on the moon, okay? Me, I don't punch moon landing deniers. I just give them facts, and they get annoyed. Actually, I did convince one guy one time. I convinced somebody. Somebody was like, I'm kind of skeptical, EJ. Hook me up here. And I'm like, all right. And you know what I said? Nobody can refute this. No one's been able to give me anything for this, right? Like, you know, they say, oh, what's one irrefutable proof that we went to the moon? Soviet Union said we did. They admitted it. And then Neil, Buzz, and Mike went on a tour in the Soviet Union in 1970. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Why would they admit that we went to the moon? And then what people say to that is, what do they usually go to? Oh, we just fooled them. Oh yeah, okay, we fooled them. We fooled the Soviet Union that we went to the moon. The first country to send something into orbit, send a person into orbit to EVA in space. First people to send something to the moon, first people to send something to Venus, first people to send something to Mars. We fooled them? Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, no, not how that works. Soviet Union said we did. Like, how do you refute that? You can't refute that. And it's not like the Soviet Union and the US were friends in the late 60s either.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
How can you refute that? You can't. They said that we did. And they had a whole lunar program that was classified at the time to prove it. The N1 program. The fact that the N1 program exists in the first place shows that we went to the moon. Because the Soviet Union wanted to match strategic capability for influence, obviously. That's what the whole space race was about. They're trolling us with fake accolades, like convincing someone they can fly in hopes they try, obviously. Yeah, right. And then we canceled the whole damn thing when we found out it was too expensive. If that's about as real as you can friggin' get, man. One thing I really don't like in Russia, I can't visit a rocket launch. Baikonur is too expensive. Vostochny is closed. Really hope they will make possible to visit launches in Vostochny because I'm ready to travel from Moscow to Vostochny for it. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I mean, I find that showing footage and whatnot doesn't convince people. Because the reason why I use the Soviet Union argument is because a lot of people that don't think that we went to the moon think that it's some kind of social control or whatever. And I can get that. I can get being skeptical of the government. Dude, I get it. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you there. Like, so I counter that social argument with another social argument. That's how I do that. And nobody can refute it. How can you, yeah, the Soviet Union, yeah, we fooled them, right? That's how that works. No, Rigaro, I didn't know that. But anyway, let's get back to work, dudes. Alright, so I need to see what this thing is set as. This thing should be set as a ship. Cool. Alright, and then okay, Gleblis is over here. That's a little too far. We pushed the crane a little too far. The truck has no remote control. What's the craziest conspiracy you ever believed in? Believed in? I don't. I don't believe in conspiracies. Like, how much rep do we lose if the crane blows up? We won't lose any rep. We'll lose money, Bilge. It won't explode, dude. We figured that problem out. I read that stuff, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I read it for entertainment, though. It's entertainment. It's not something I actually friggin' believe. That's ridiculous. Not even in the light bulb conspiracy? I'm not familiar. No. So, what happened... So, the Soviets got wind that we could not... Okay, yeah, so...
Discovery, go at throttle.
What's weird to me is that the Soviets were like, oh, well, the Americans got there first, now we don't care anymore. I get it, it's probably because the N1 problems, but why did they stop trying? Okay, so here's what happened. The Soviets got wind that we could not sustain the Apollo program. It was too expensive. They figured that out. It's not like it's not like they didn't have people here trying to figure that stuff out, right? Just like we don't have people there, right? We knew their moon program to exist, and they knew that ours existed, right? The Soviets got wind that we were moving, we were ramping down Apollo, and we were switching to the space shuttle. Right? So what they did was cancel the N1 program promptly and tried to figure out a strategic match to the space shuttle. That's what happened. That's why they said screw it. You know, we're not going to do it because they're making the space shuttle, and it's actually a really funny story that we made the space shuttle, and because the space shuttle was part of NASA, right, it was fairly open to the public, right, even though they knew the Department of Defense was in on it, and they were, right? So how that whole thing kind of ended up is the Soviets basically saw that NASA was rolling out the space shuttle, and they were like, oh crap, they're going to use that to steal stuff. They're going to use that to steal space station modules. Or they could use it to launch nukes in the payload bay, which... Heck, for all we know, that could have been a thing. I don't know. Like, I don't know. You know, that would really suck if it was a thing. But so they saw the space shuttle and basically said, "Look, this could be used as a weapon system. We don't know if it is for sure, but it absolutely could be." And because of that, they they said we need to match that strategic capability. We don't know what this thing could be used for, but we know it could be used for something. It could be used as a weapon system. So they canceled the N1 program and replaced it with Buran Energia in 1974. That's why. They stopped. Yeah, they thought it was going to steal Almaz. Yep, that's right, Galactic. You got it, dude. And see, Galactic, I don't know for sure that they could have been right. for all I know, that could have been correct, dude. Because, yeah, for all we know, they could have been a thing. They were gonna steal DOS modules. The DOS module can fit in a shuttle's payload bay. It absolutely can. What is Almaz? So Almaz, or the Russian, it stands for Diamond, it's called the DOS program. The DOS program are Russian space station modules. Almaz was a secret, basically a listening post in space for spy satellites. That's why they made it. And the Almaz station design morphed into the Salyut program. The Soviet Salyut program was, meaning salute or fireworks, was a program to work on basically disposable space station designs. It's cool because the Salyut program, which started as a Ministry of Defense project, moved to the space program, right? And these DOS modules, which were used for defense, ended up being used for space station for science. Space stations for science. The Soviets thought, and once again, I don't know if this is a thing or not. Like, I can't say that this is or isn't a thing, right? The Salyut program made 6 DOS modules, right? And the DOS modules are very, very similar. Well, actually, that's DOS 6 right there. DOS 7 was on Mir, and DOS 8 is on the space station. The Zvezda module is a DOS module, right? Salyut 7 in 1985 broke. The station broke. And something spooked the Soviets enough. Something, I don't know what it was. Like, this is what I mean about, dude, I don't know. Something spooked the Soviets enough to send 2 guys up there to an unpowered, broken space station, dock a Soyuz manually to it, manually open the hatches, and fix the space station. Now, you could say, oh, well, they just wanted to... With Salyut 7, they just wanted to get their space station back. Guys, Salyut 7 was flying at the same time that Mir was. Salyut 7 and Mir had overlap. There was no reason for them to keep this space station up. They should have just deorbited. But something spooked them enough to send guys up there to a busted space station and fix it. And they did. So the Russians have this whole movie about it, dude. It's their whole that's their Apollo 13, dude. It's a really awesome story. But I'm pretty damn sure they were afraid that we were going to take it with the shuttle. And once again, the Buran program even existing lends credence to that theory, but I have no idea. And we know that the shuttle was part of the Department of Defense. It was part of the Air Force wanted to use the shuttle to launch spy satellites. So, and Salyut 7 just happens to be about the same size as a keyhole satellite. So, dude, for all I know, yeah. For all I know, we were going to. I don't know for sure, though. Do you know the secret Russian moon program to give moon rocks back to Earth in an unmanned craft before Apollo 11? Lunokhod. Zenith, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Guys, I know all about this stuff. What was wrong with it? Power shortage, Jason. Now, in Kerbal, if something runs out of power, whatever, it can get power back, no problem. Running out of power on a module in real life is a death sentence. If you run out of electricity, you can't keep the electronics. The electronics basically freeze. And once the climate control systems fail on a station, that's game over. For electronics and anything that's inside that's not designed to work in a vacuum. This was an unpowered station, and they docked to it and fixed it, which is absurd. Yeah, Almaz was a cool design, Galactic, and I'm happy that the DOS program is still going in the form of Zvezda. I mean, I'm not sure how much more it's going to be, but anyway, my crane is kind of crooked, and I don't want this thing to be crooked. See how there's a gap right there? We got to fix that. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to control it, Rigaro, but you could always repower it if you want to, right? Nauka is a functional cargo block, Dutch guy. That's different. FGBs are different than DOS modules. How do you repower it? Well, you get a battery up there or get a Kerbal that puts solar panels on it. It's perfectly normal for it to be crooked. It's how you use it. So, Jason, we did something, or we were doing something enough to spook them into trying to save a module from deorbiting, or from being uncontrolled. Now, for all we know, it could have been misinformation. Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of misinformation during the Cold War. Like Reagan's whole SDI was. The Strategic Defense Initiative was a bluff. We didn't have. We said that we have weapons able to eliminate a first strike capability, and the Soviets panicked. Chinese station tech is derived from DOS modules? Yeah. It's license built, dude. It's license built. Yeah. The Chinese stuff is all license built, dude. It's in 1995, the Russian program trying to stay afloat licensed the Soyuz technology and DOS and FGB to the Chinese in 95. They were trying to keep the space program afloat. So they sold off some of the IP. Well, not sold off. They licensed it. It's license built, dude. Yeah, exactly. The TKS. Galactic, yeah, that's right. There's the Soviet TKS module. The TKS module is a functional cargo block. The Soviets, for whatever reason, got rid of the TKS program, but they kept, which is a capsule with a service module attached to it that's also a space station module. The TKS program was like a regular capsule with the service module attached to the back that was the space station, and they called the service module a functional cargo block. They canceled the TKS in the late 70s, but they kept the idea for an FGB because it was a good station module idea. And they kept the functional cargo block program going into the 80s, and the FGB program still survives to this day. Nauka is a functional cargo block. I'm not sure, Buck. Mission mode question. I thought our original SSTO funding was for 2 prototypes. Isn't chat supposed to fund you with more dollars for operational missions? Pretty much, Carrier. Yeah. I can do one of those missions with a small SSTO, dude. And I said that chat would give me a funding goal. Chat could give me a funding goal basically at the end of the week, or program direction depending on what happens this week. I wanted to do contract missions just to prove out the architecture. So I tried to do it yesterday with the big SSTO, and it backfired in my face because I'm an idiot. So yeah, we're gonna get the small SSTO up and running. Let me make sure the pad is set as a base. Or no, this needs to be set as a lander. It is? Okay, cool. Moon mission's still the priority. I would assume so, Doom. What I should do after we prove that this thing works, what I should do is build out the rest of the architecture for the big SSTO and then wait for funding. I think the NEM module is the next step in the FGB program. NEM is a clean sheet design, dude. It's the Galactic. It's the first Roscosmos designed module, so it's post-Soviet. Dimitri, so I had another viewer, Chem, my chemical, in chat. Galactic. He's from Russia, dude. He translates the articles for me, and he helps me with analyzation of what's going on. And it's really nice, dude, because you won't get The only perspectives about that you get from the Russian space program over here are heard to Russia's space program bad, like, which is just, it's annoying as hell, dude. We're on the same team here because of the ISS. Like, that's how I look at that. You know, we're on the same team here. So I try to get analyzation from a Russian's perspective on the, that's someone that knows what they're talking about. I try to get analysis from that. So Chem helps me translate the stuff, dude. NEM, so the Russians wanted to get rid of all the Soviet stuff that they had. They want to basically stop depending on old Soviet stuff because it's expensive at this point. The Soviet stuff is 30 frigging years old, man. Even though it's good, the Soyuz is a great capsule. FGB is a great design. DOS is a great design. They want to innovate. They want to go to the next level and build 21st century stuff. And that's what the energy module is. Yeah, John, that's right. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the solution to preventing the crane from blowing up when we docked the SSDO to the pad? Yes, I do. Pilch, before I do anything here, what I'm going to do is get that payload prepared. We need to get the payload truck and the payload prepared for this. I mean, Galactic, another thing that I don't really talk about on stream, the only time I talk about it, so we got to take the crew module out of there, and we got to put it on a pallet. All right, so let's go and get a payload figured out here. The other thing is that when the Duma, I guess, decided to renationalize the space program, right? And bring Roscosmos into the fold, Dmitry, who is a pretty big Rule 8 guy, personally volunteered for that job. And the theory that I have is that he has a personal interest in the space program because his dad worked on Buran. A lot of people don't know that. And that's why I have Kem translating these articles for me. He said in an interview with Novosti that his dad worked on the Energia Buran program. His dad was a shuttle engineer. So he has a personal interest in the space program, and that's why he took that job. The part that I don't talk about that, when I say he has a vested interest in this stuff, the part that I don't mention is that he's doing a lot of work to fight corruption in the space program. I mean, like canning the guy from Vostochny that showed up to the construction site in a Mercedes. Guy showed up in a frigging G-Wagon, and the construction workers at the damn launch site can't freaking put food on the table. Dmitry went in there and said, "Are you kidding me right now? Why do you have that? Why do you freaking have that? These guys can't eat. They're trying to build the stupid pad. What are you doing?" Fired the guy and hired another contractor. Actually, are all the transfer windows always the same? They're always the same. He's been really, really trying hard to fight corruption. He had a new thing that he announced the other day to fight waste in the space program, which is pretty cool. I mean, I appreciate that. And that leads me to believe, dude, that Dmitry has a vested interest here. Like he has a personal attachment to the space program, which makes sense. Yeah, Chris, give me my pen back. You know what I'm talking about. Well, that's his boss, but yeah. I mean, the way that we do that over here is stuff like the Investigator General report, the IG report that we got from yesterday. Like, you know, with that astronaut suit stuff from yesterday, I'm trying to find the payload transfer vehicle. Here we go. With the astronaut suit stuff that we saw from yesterday, guys, that's not, that's our way of saying that basically, you know, you could get mad at the IG, but the IG is there to show, like, to audit stuff because the ideas are stupid. Just like switching the spacesuit RFI in 2021 was a stupid idea. That's why the IG saw that and they said, "No, why are you doing this? This is a waste of money." And then they proceeded to show why. We want those Investigator General reports. We want those because, yeah, without it, freaking people would find a way to bleed the stupid contract out, which is annoying as hell. It's pointing out waste more than corruption, Spatuous. Yeah, but yeah, that's our way of doing it. PPTS became Federacia and now Oriol. And then there's Oil Knock, too. It's taking a while, but they clearly worked hard on revitalizing the program. I'm with you on that one, Stereo. There's not so much love for Dmitry in Russia, but there are facts. He does a lot for Roscosmos. Yeah, Galactic. That's what I mean, dude. I've read about what he's done in the past. It's not okay. But I do think he has a personal interest in the space program because his dad worked on it. And yeah, no, I can see that. But yeah, he's doing a good job. Like, and dude, people give me crap every time I say that. It's all right. He's doing a good job. Like, he's doing a good job for the space program, and he can do a good job in the space program and also be a jerk, right? Like, it's not mutually exclusive. All right, let's do this, dudes. So, I need the bracket to be able to pull the payload, pull the crew tank out here. That's right, Buck. That's another thing that I try to teach people, dude. Another thing that I try to teach people. But yeah, Buck, I think he's personally invested. I've listened to a lot of the guy's interviews, man. A lot. And don't get me wrong, I have to have Kem help me translate it and stuff, or I just use subtitles or something, but dude, it's just the way, like, if you compare his Rule 8 nonsense that he did before and how he speaks now, dude, it's like night and day. I'm telling you. That's right, Mintalk. What contract are we going for? Ion engine around the moon. No hard-working Americans should be forced to live without more cowbell. That's right, public. What's this? Demo, I don't know if you saw the stream last night. I missed a step during the big SSTO's integration, dude. And Kraken struck the pad and the SSTO. I'm not happy about that. I was getting ready to launch a rideshare mission for the SSTO and blew up Dash on the pad with the pad fully fueled. Nightmare scenario. So, we're getting the small SSTO ready, and I'm doing missions with the small one. You need checklists. I need something, dude. Salty Crack is like, I had nothing to do with it. Yeah. Hey, bitch boy. How you doing, bro? Yeah, so I put the small SSTO pad back out, and I took 10 from the service area, and we're going to put it back to work. Now I need to make a payload here. We can still do other missions. So what I think I'm going to do is we have a mission here to test the Dawn electric propulsion system. We have to test the thing near the moon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my small sats, and I'm going to attach the ion engine to it. The other thing that I'm going to do is try to see if I can fit the resource scanner in there too. So at least we can make up for some of the missions that we needed to. If I can simultaneously finance testing of the SSTO with the Dawn EPS, right? With the ion engine, and make that the resource tracking satellite, then we can still get paid and we can recoup some costs. What exactly are you doing? Bidge, to what definition do you know what Kerbal Space Program is, dude? So like, okay, and I don't mean to like put you on the spot. How did you discover the stream? Did it just show up and recommended, or did you come in from the Kerbal category? Because that's gonna tailor my response, dude. Okay, it's a space game. What I'm doing here is building a payload for my spaceship that flies up into space. All right. So, like, okay, the space shuttle, right? The American space shuttle. It has a payload bay on the back, right? Or at least it's called a payload bay. That thing. Remember that thing? There's a huge payload bay on the back, and the payload bay doors open up, and it releases payloads up there. It can build the ISS, do whatever. There's the payload bay, right? I have something like this, but it's a little bit smaller. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to, in Kerbal, in the career mode save, you get contracts to launch stuff into space. and you have to build the vehicle to launch it into space, and then you get paid, right? Pretty straightforward stuff. I have a contract to go and test something out by the moon, right? And I have a bigger rocket, a bigger space plane that I can use to launch it, but I don't have the money for that bigger space plane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to design a very small payload for my payload bay right now, and we're going to send that on the small version, a rocket that I can afford. So the game's Kerbal Space Program, but that's what Kerbal's about. You build and design spaceships and send them into space. It's not entirely based off real rocket science, but it's close. It's close enough to get the point across. So, bitch, what I do is I use Kerbal to teach people about the space program. And that's what we were talking about. That's what I was droning on about payloads and whatever. Yeah, that's what I'm about, dude. That's where I'm at. Stupid question. Why didn't you just recover everything when the SSDO clipped into the pad? Well, Demo, it's a long story. Yeah, no problem, dude. Bitch, if you have questions about space, or if you like, I mean, if this isn't your thing, space isn't for everybody, dude. It's very niche. Some people really like it, some people don't, you know? Like, if you have questions, dude, just tag at EJSA. I try to keep up with chat, dude, as best as I can. Even if there's 1,000 people in here, 10,000 people, or 500 or 2, I don't care. I'll talk to you if you talk to me. It helps get me through the day. Except Admana, I don't talk to him. He's a jerk. Oh, hey, Admana, how you doing? What's up? The way you take your time to introduce this topic to new players without talking down to them is kind of perfect. Be the change you want to see, Admana. That's what I always say. Like this? Yeah. Actually, bitch boy, if you go look at my rules, I have a rule about Admana. Don't be like him. He's a jerk. Except right now when he complimented me, but he'll probably bring me down a peg or two in a second because he likes doing that because he's a jerk. See what I mean? All right. I'm just kidding. I like giving chat crap, bitch, because they give me crap, so I dish it right back. Please see last. You didn't have a last, Optimal. Oh, yeah, you did. Okay, cool. Can the SSDO get to the moon, or are you going to have to use something like an IUS? We got to use an IUS, dude. Dish. I seriously don't. I do not see your last, man. I have no idea. Yeah, Blue, it's tough, dude. But look, it is tough. I'm not gonna lie, and it gets stressful at times, especially with balancing mission mode deadlines, like what happened last night. And Demo, I gotta tell you what happened.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
But you know what, man? Like, I'm going to come back the next day and I'm going to try to do it, Blue, because not without trying to sound too much like a jerk. You guys pay me. I do this. You know, you guys are too important. You give me money to do this. Not everybody gets to do this. It's important to keep that into perspective. That's why I keep saying it. So A, I shouldn't be too much of a jerk to you guys, just a little bit. And B, you know what? If I have a problem with the stream or whatever, I shouldn't, you know, just because oh, it's really hard to keep up with 1,000 people. Oh my God. No, I should try harder to do it. You know, it's probably not gonna work too well, but that ain't gonna stop me from trying. Cause you guys pay me for this, dude. I know that not everybody gets to do this, and it'd be foolish to not try harder. So I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna hit harder. Let's do this. I meant more like Crew 1 coverage, dude. But oh, okay, yeah. I got you. Mid-Sama. Dance, monkey, dance. Crobe, 20-month resub. IUS, the inertial upper stage. The inertial upper stage was a third stage that the shuttle could carry in its payload bay. The inertial upper stage was originally designed as an extra stage for the Titan 4 or Titan 3 and Titan 4 rocket, and then they used they figured out that they could put one inside of the shuttle. It's a vacuum optimized 2-stage SRB. Yep, third and a fourth stage for the shuttle right there. They used it. the idea behind the IUS is that the shuttle could launch probes into deep space. We're going to need to do something similar to that. Similar. What's up? Doing more work on the common architecture. Got a 3-core rocket integrated and tested on the pad using the LV2 crane. Nice, Lavi. That crane's pretty cool, huh? It looks good. Nice static fire. Very nice. Yeah. There originally was supposed to be 2 types of upper stages that the shuttle could accept in its payload bay. The other one was Shuttle Centaur. They were going to put a Centaur stage in the back of the shuttle. Centaur G and Centaur G Prime. It was a dual-engine Centaur variant, and they had 2 different types of tank wall for it. Centaur G was a dual-engine Centaur that they would have used to launch deep probes into deep space, and they should have used it to launch stuff back to the moon. Can you imagine a fully fueled Centaur on orbit? That's like SLS capability right there, guys. Wait, why didn't we use that? After Challenger, it was deemed too dangerous. They were worried about pooling hydrogen pooling inside of the shuttle's payload bay at liftoff. Thanks, Artyom. Yeah, so we're going to have to do something like that. And now, don't get me wrong. What I want to do, guys, and this is what I was trying to make yesterday with the big SSTO, I was trying to make the dispenser for it. I was trying to make a dispenser, so not only could I, with the big SSTO, launch these things and deploy them out of the shuttles, out of my payload bay on my big SSTO like that, but I also could use an arm, grapple the thing, and reinstall it on the payload adapter. That was the idea. That's what I was trying to build out yesterday. But we ended up just putting it in the SSTO payload bay. Turns out it was all for naught anyway. So, I need to make a modular payload system, guys, that's easy to integrate payloads into this payload bay, just like the real shuttle. We got to do that with the SSTO, or else it's going to take forever to put payloads in that thing. How do you know so much about space? I'm self-taught, bitch. I've been playing Kerbal and teaching people about space for the better part of a decade. I started streaming in December of 2012, dude. And I've started reading about space and learning about space since before the shuttle stopped flying, man. And when I read about space, I don't mean that I go and read like a subreddit about space. I get into NASA technical documents and I read aerospace engineering textbooks. And I've been teaching it to myself over the last 10 years, and I use it to teach people about history, launch architecture, how the vehicles work, re-entry trajectories, aerodynamics, structural engineering, I use it to just teach people and get people excited about engineering. But I'm self-taught. Yeah. The internet, great tool if you know where to look. Nerva Centaur. Could have been done, Geeson. Yeah, they ruled after Challenger that this was too complicated. After building a functional prototype. That functional prototype's still around. It's in Huntsville, I think. It's a real dual-engine Centaur with stainless steel. There it is. They had it built. This was supposed to launch Galileo into deep space. It never happened. They ended up using an IUS. Oh, dang, I wish I could be bothered to do that. Are you excited for the new lunar missions? Absolutely, Bidge. I cover them on a day-to-day basis. Any updates? Yeah, you'd hear about it. Here. Imagine repurposing an external tank to be a giant fuel tank for a nuclear interplanetary vehicle. Yeah, they thought of that. There was a program or a study that was developed for the space shuttle called the Aft Cargo Carrier. The Aft Cargo Carrier is basically a payload fairing mounted on the back of the shuttle's external tank. There's low pressure there anyway. It would not have affected aerodynamics at all. In fact, right here is an open area where you could have put whatever. They basically put a payload fairing, and once again, they had this stuff designed. There was a study that was done. They never built it. They had the idea of using the aft cargo carrier to put whatever in the back of the shuttle. Nerva? Sure, why not? Turn the external tank into a giant freaking nuclear transfer vehicle. Or a space station. Could have been a wet workshop. You could have put an airlock back there onto the bottom of the tank and tap into the tank's hydrogen bulkhead, which is on the bottom of the ET. The ET has twin bulkheads right there and hatches. See them right there? You'd see them on this launch. You could have just put the aft cargo carrier on there and then put an airlock there with a docking ring for the space shuttle. And a lot of people don't know is that if the space shuttle launches with nothing in its payload bay, it can take the external tank into space with it, into orbit. Like all the way into orbit. This thing the shuttle could theoretically have brought an external tank to the ISS if it has nothing in the payload bay. Yeah, they thought of that, Pigzig. Oh yeah, aft cargo carrier. Never did it. Too dangerous. Can we slap the people who froze the shuttle design? Structural, thermal, and propulsion geometry are the reasons why that didn't happen. I mean, you could do a wet workshop with it. I mean, demo, it's not like the shuttle couldn't have carried the Nerva engine in here, and they could have used the shuttle to install it on the back. You could have done that. You have a freaking construction crane in space. Don't get me wrong. I know the feasibility of that is very, 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 very difficult. I get it. But, I mean, we keep quoting, Tim's video with Elon, shows a lot. Elon talks about the space shuttle. He talks about the biggest problem with the space shuttle is that it had to launch with people on it, so they were afraid to change the design. That's right. That's absolutely right. They were afraid after Challenger. I mean, dude, he knows his stuff, which is pretty damn impressive, considering, all the information that goes through that guy's head. He has insane bandwidth to remember things, which is crazy. It's more than me. And I'm pretty damn good at this. So they had all these awesome ideas for the shuttle, right? And then they never did it. Like, you have a construction vehicle. You have a vehicle that's designed to build things in space, and, well, we don't want to get too crazy with it. Like, you could have used that to put an inflatable heat shield on the external tank and then brought it back down. Or, you could have put an engine, you could have put catch tank. Like, there's so much stuff that the aft cargo carrier that they wanted to do, and they looked into it, man. Look at these. These are not just some fan-made studies, dude. The aft cargo carrier was proposed. If they just made the damn thing fly automatically, and that's the thing, man. The shuttle could have flown automatically, dude. It could have. If you hot-wired it, you could have made the shuttle fly into space by itself and land by itself. It pretty much did. The only parts that were absolutely 100% human controlled is basically the final approach. Tell me you can't automate that? NASA can't automate it? Of course they could have. The entire ascent is computer controlled. They could have hot-wired the shuttle to fly by itself, but they never did because they were afraid to change the design, which is just... Freezing the design after Challenger was one of the stupidest things that NASA could do. However, once again, it's important to understand context here. You just killed 7 people, right? You killed 7 people. This is not a good look. That's not a good look. You killed 7 people because you were negligent with the engineering. I.e., the engineers were saying, don't do this, and you did it anyway. And now you have a big crap sandwich, all right? Right? You got to understand the context. Someone has to go to those people's families and say, yeah, dad ain't coming home, or mom ain't coming home. That's messed up. You have to. It's screwed up. So I understand why they did what they did with the shuttle. They didn't want to do that again, right? I get it. I understand both sides of the argument here. It's really easy to become very risk adverse when you have 7 dead people, not like on your hands like that. I get it. It's not good. It's not a good look. It's a really bad idea, actually. So, I understand why they froze all this stuff, and that's what I mean. The shuttle was basically set up to fail from the beginning. And not intentionally. Like, that's a very important thing to understand. It wasn't intentionally set up to fail, but that's what happens when you underfund things. The shuttle wasn't built out with its entire architecture from the start. Because it wasn't built out with its entire architecture from the start, they started flying the shuttle, and they weren't moving towards anything. So they had all these ideas. Centaur, IUS, aft cargo carrier, Shuttle C. They had all these great ideas for the shuttle, but they weren't moving towards anything. And that was during development. The only thing that they were moving towards is launching spy satellites, and the shuttle's fine at that. It's really good at deploying satellites, because that's the only thing that they moved for, being a low Earth orbit access vehicle. And You know, it wasn't until Reagan came in there in 1984 and unrolled his new space policy. The new space policy under SDI would have the shuttle build a space station. That's what they did. And then Challenger happened, and this Space Station Freedom Project got postponed into the 90s, and then it became the ISS. The NASP, Pig Zig. Oh, don't get me started on the NASP. What a cool design, man. Dude, there's so much good stuff. Foo Face, that's my argument. Yeah, that's what I always say. Because they decided to make the vehicle safer. They tried to make everything safer. They were doing what I call defensive engineering. You know, we don't have to worry about the shuttle engines breaking if we literally take them apart and put them back together every time. That'll improve reliability. Instead of actually going and trying to figure out reliability. You know what I mean? That's what they defaulted to. They defaulted to rebuilding the engines every single freaking time to make sure, without a doubt, that the engines would work. You rebuild the engine every time, which is... It's like a top fuel dragster. You can only use it once, and then you have to take apart the engine and put it back together. If anybody's an NHRA fan. Risk assessments at the beginning of the program and after Challenger stated that statistically it would fail loss of crew and mission 1 in 70. It failed twice in 144. They weren't making it any safer. They just weren't risking making it any more dangerous. On the other hand, it could have been worse. Had a dinner party not been crashed by the OMB director, not a joke, the 1990 Augustine Commission, yeah, that Augustine would have canceled human spaceflight entirely. Yeah, I don't like that guy, Lavi. I really don't like that guy. Yeah. Having been on the receiving end of a chaplain and a service member at the door to notify there's nothing quite so life-changing. Yeah, it crashed. NASA can't hurt people. They can't do it, guys. They really can't. You can't do that. That's not the way it works. And that's why SpaceX is doing what they're doing. That's why NASA pays SpaceX, because Elon can be seen failing. It's no problem. And don't get me wrong, NASA should be doing the same thing. Elon said it himself. He said it in Tim's interview. He said NASA should work on, launching unmanned. If you launch unmanned, you can prototype faster. You don't have to build out a full flight design to launch people. Launching people is a pain in the butt, dudes. But yeah, NASA they can't be seen doing that, and that stagnated their engineering. It stagnated their engineering hard. Look at the difference between the Apollo program and the shuttle program. When the Apollo program, when Apollo 1 happened, and don't get me wrong, that was another stupid freaking idea, a stupid failure. But that was the engineers saying, the thing about Apollo 1 is the engineers were saying an inward opening hatch was a better idea instead of an outward opening hatch. And the astronauts actually said, no, an inward opening hatch is stupid, we're going to get killed. And the Challenger, they should have listened to the engineers, But anyway, let's keep going. I was trying to rename it something different so I don't mess up this craft file, because I'm not sure what this small sat was used for. It probably was a relay sat, but... So my Mark III, that can't fit. That won't fit inside of the payload bay, the Mark II. My Mark III sat won't fit in a Mark II payload bay. I think it's too big. Just finishing watching the ending of the last night's stream. We're getting the small SSTO up and running, dudes. So, going back to the shuttle, guys, they underfunded it through development, and it was doomed to fail from the start. Sorry, I lost my train of thought because I'm trying to figure out this at the same time. You can't underfund programs, and that's why it's a zero-sum game in that regard. Spaceflight's always going to be expensive unless we start innovating like what Elon says. Yeah, nuclear. I'm going to get the small one up and running. I don't have enough money to launch the big one again. No, guys, we'll vote at the end of the... I want to prove out at least the SSDO architecture that I can. So, Columbia couldn't really be prevented. I mean, how can you predict foam failing? Columbia's a lot more complicated, Blue Shorts. Basically, the mentality that somebody said it in chat, dude. The mentality that the risk-adverse environment that NASA had after Challenger is what made Columbia happen. You have to keep innovating. You have to keep going. You have to keep innovating. It's so goddamn important. It's like running a marathon, dude. You guys ever do long distance running? Anybody here? If you stop, if you're running a marathon and you stop, it is very difficult to get going again. It's really tough. It's really tough to you just got to power through. You just got to keep going. The way I say it is, it's like space programs work like a steam engine. With a steam engine, what do you got to do? You got to fill up the water tanks, and then you got to fill up the oil tanks, right? Or coal, whatever. You got to fill all that stuff up, and then you got to stoke the fire, and then you got to turn the burner on. Once you turn the burner on, you start you start evaporating water. You build up boiler pressure, and then you start going. And then once you're going, and once the steam engine stops, it's tough to get it started up again. It takes a while. Space programs work like that. You got to build up steam. And once that steam keeps going, if you start to slow down, right? You start to slow down, it's really difficult to get going again. I was at the wall at mile 20, yeah, right? Do you think space tethers have any future? Not on Earth. The grav well is too deep. Sea Kraken, to build an orbital elevator and an orbital tether like that, it would need to be 23,500 miles tall. We can barely build something a kilometer tall. No, that's not happening in our lifetimes. Is it possible? Yeah, of course. Not happening in our lifetimes, though. Pigzig, I think Starship is the correct approach. I mean, heck, even the Russians knew that, launching a shuttle like that, you'd need to prototype it unmanned. With Buran, they knew. Putting people on that thing every time proved to be a very bad idea. Regarding Columbia, why the foam strikes, which were a common occurrence, weren't investigated further, I don't know. They were rare, Nighthound. Alright. Let me build this satellite out and we'll go from here. So we need a satellite that has enough Delta V to get to the moon. We could talk more about this during Space News, but I gotta go. We gotta get this working. The Soviets had Challenger for reference. Yeah, but the Buran program was already happening before Challenger, well before Challenger. The Buran program really started getting momentum in the late 70s. I said previously that it was funded in 74. That's wrong. 74 is when they canceled the N1 program, and then there was a lot of internal strife in the Soviet space program between Kolomey and Glushko about where to go with the space program from there. And then the Politburo said build a shuttle. And Vladimir Glushko won with that design. He won with Buran Energia, and he was right. Kolomey had a good idea, I guess. UR-700 wasn't the worst idea, it was just a little weird. Hey, Airborne, what's going on? Let's just hope NASA funding is going to stay stable for the years to come so that Steam can keep going. Yeah, Mintalk? Anyway. So, this satellite probably isn't going to work either. I mean, we can launch these types of satellites out of the small SSDO. I've done it before. Starship was weird too, yep. I really think that if the UR-700 would have worked better instead of N1. I mean, Galactic, personally, I think I'm a Glushko fan. Glushko had the propulsion right. The propulsion was the smartest idea. The stage-rich oxygen, full flow oxygen-rich stage combustion, that was smart, very smart. And then he nailed it with Energia. Energia is Chad tier. It's like S tier lifter. It can launch a shuttle. It can launch a fairing. You can launch a functional cargo block with it. I mean, Energia could have built Mir. It could build Mir in like 2 missions. You could have the FGB, the cargo block, and the DOS attached to each other, and Energia could put that into space. And my only gripe with it is that it's not reusable. But the Zenit boosters, they were going to have them land near Jezkazgan in Kazakhstan and parachute down. And then the core stage, That would have been tough to get back, but they had prototypes for that with the Uragan, I think is what it's called. Soviet engineers didn't like copying the American orbiter, but decided it was an ideal vehicle for low Earth orbit. They copied the aerodynamics, Prey, because, yeah, they wanted to match capability. I get it. Alright, let's go. Energia's genius, Galactic. Very smart, but it's very expensive. Energia is the most complicated lifter ever devised. It's more complicated than a Saturn V, all day. I mean, guys, just think about the common avionics here. That alone is ridiculous. So, where's the avionics on Energia? The avionics package on the space shuttle is in the space shuttle. But Energia can't fly without the shuttle. Or Energia can fly without the space shuttle. But it could fly with the shuttle as well. So you have to make a modular avionics package that can have a shuttle on the side or not. That's really, really next level stuff. They have a common avionics package that could take FGBs, DOS, Buran. You could put fairings on there. You have to have a common avionics package. That's genius. It's really smart, man. In the 70s. And then, not to mention that Buran can land itself. The 1K1 mission, guys, the 1K1 mission landed unmanned in a freaking crosswind. There's footage here. I forget where it is. Here, hold on. The Buran landed in a crosswind. There's nobody on board. Nobody's on that thing. I'm wondering if they show the shot here. This shows it really good. Watch Buran. So there's the runway center line right there. Look at the crosswind take it. You see that? That's absurd. That's Energia Polius. Squall. Yeah. Nobody's on board. That's totally autonomous. The computers brought it back down by itself. When it comes to innovating crewed vehicles, specifically capsule designs that have seemed to go largely unchanged fundamentally, is the slower pace of innovating and moving past their simple design and capability due to the human risks involved? And this is, well, Leahy, basically, and that's why we're talking about this in general. The mentality with the space program, and don't get me wrong, I grew up with this. The mentality of the space program until Elon Musk came along was it's too expensive. It doesn't make financial sense to try and even innovate at all. The only market for the space program is really NASA, which is very specialized missions that cost billions of dollars, and defense satellites. Not much commercial. The market stagnated when I was in high school. The market took a dump. Yeah, I remember reading in Popular Mechanics. Yes, people read magazines back then. Sorry, no internet. Not yet, at least. Not at least how it is now. There was internet, but I remember reading Popular Mechanics about Delta 3, Delta 4, Atlas using Russian engines, and the X-33, Venture Star. I remember watching, Modern Marvels about that, with that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, remember Paper? Oh, I remember. It was impressive even in the current times. That's right, Tommy. Yep. Yeah, I remember reading those in the library. I know, with books and stuff. Imagine a fully reusable shuttle in a Buran configuration with the USA shuttle. Builder, I've always said that the best architecture, if you're going to make something like the shuttle, would be the American space shuttle with the American external tank and 4 Zenit boosters. That would be the best one. Yeah, Thomas, you saw that. SpaceX is building their own damn ships. Yeah, I know, right? It's not like magazines were expensive, though. Alright. So, we have this. This sat bus is based around a Science Junior. I don't really want that. I think the Mark Zero... Okay, here's the Mark Zero. This should work. The Mark Zero sat bus is very, 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 very simple. And it has 1700 Delta V. Alright, so... we're going to modify this satellite bus a little bit. We're gonna call this, so Mark 0 sat like updated. All right, let's go. So we're gonna need to go back to doing small sat launchers. So let me get that off of there. Let me get the magnetometer off of there. This is what we have. So what's the mission architecture? We need to test a Dawn electric propulsion system around the moon. This has 2100 delta V. It absolutely can do it. I don't think I have any Xenon tanks here unlocked, so we can't do that. But, once again, we don't need to run the engine, we just need to test it. I remember the Ares 1 launch. I liked Ares 1 Galactic. I thought Ares 1 and Ares 5 was really good, a really good idea. The reason why is because Ares 1 prototyped components for Ares 5. And I get it. People are going to say, oh, that's so expensive. It's expensive. Yeah, you know, oh, it's not safe. They weren't finished building it. Nothing is safe when it's being developed. Not even the space shuttle. You know what I mean? Or even the Saturn V, you know? They had to develop it. If the Saturn V construction had stopped in 1968, everybody would have been, the Saturn V never would have worked because of pogo oscillations. It's just, all right. I liked Ares 1. Ares 1 and Ares 5 was a really good idea. It was basically safeguarding NASA for the next 30 years. I've talked plenty about it, though. I won't get too much into it. So, adding that ion engine here basically cut our delta V in half, because how heavy is that? It's 250 kilos. Okay, that's a lot for a small satellite like this. It's a lot of payload. They didn't save $30 billion by canceling. They saved $30 billion by doing nothing. And we got commercial crew as a consolation prize, which that pisses me off even more. Everybody's like, oh, commercial. And they're right with commercial. That's correct. Commercial is a great option for low Earth orbit right now. That's the only place where the market is. And that's a good idea, but you know, to say it's a replacement for Ares 1 is really stupid. And Lavi, I know you and I have talked about this. If you guys go and watch Neil Armstrong and Gene Cernan testify to Congress in 2011, they say that if you cancel Ares 1 and Ares 5 and stop flying the space shuttle all at the same time, we will have a stopgap of about 10 years. They said the better part of a decade, if I'm remembering right. They said we won't launch any people into space for 10 years if you cancel that now. Turns out the first and the last guy to walk on the moon know a little bit about spaceflight, huh? Constellation prize, yep. EJ and $30 billion. Name a more iconic duo. Taradra and Pupper. I named a more iconic duo, got him. So, 1125 isn't enough to get this thing... Actually, hold on. Let's get the Delta V map up. Oh, hey, baby. I really don't like the Augustine Commission, Alex. The Augustine Commission represents everything wrong with the space program, even to this day. Oh, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna be too expensive. We know it's gonna be too expensive because we can predict the future. So let's do it this way. It'll be less expensive. It's like, hey, let's, you know, it represents an adverse risk mentality that, you know, basically that says like, hey, the safest place for an astronaut is on the ground. You know, we can't kill any astronauts if we don't launch anybody into space. It's completely counterintuitive to the founding principles of NASA, which is why I don't like it. Norman Augustine is the guy's name, Speedy. He was the head of the Augustine Commission. Basically, the commission that came together and said Constellation wasn't worth it. Yeah. They said it wasn't feasible. But the thing is that Constellation got underfunded 2 years in a row. right? It got underfunded 2 years in a row, and then they made this commission in 2008 and 2009, 2010 too as well. It got underfunded and it was underperforming, and they said the amount of money that it would take to get it back on schedule is not feasible by current standards. So let's just can the entire thing. Yeah. And they decided that. It wasn't even in a... The Senate and the House didn't even vote on it, which is why the Senate and the House got pissed when they figured out that they were going to cancel it. Bill Nelson is famous for that. He was mad. Check this out. The current NASA administrator, there's a very good picture of him saying why that's a really stupid idea. See? There's this very famous picture of him pointing at SLS and saying, we need to keep doing this. This is very important. Congress freaked the frick out, dude. They were like, no, you're not doing that. Yeah, it turns out that we ended up spending $30 billion. We just spent it on something that's less capable. He's so mad. Well, that photo's cherry picked. People love cherry picking pictures of politicians when they're talking and trying to find the picture that makes them seem the worst. Everybody does that. But anyway. So, 1125 on the Delta V map. We need 860 and 280 to get to a 14-kilometer circular. That Delta V margin is a little bit low, but... Yeah, 1140. But we're not going to a 14-kilometer orbit either. This thing can... For this, we need it to be 310 kilometers up. So, yeah, we're not going to a 14er. We're just circularizing around the moon, which in reality costs about 100 Delta V. Nice, Taradra. Let's say I just watched a VOD from yesterday. Glad I wasn't there. I would have lost my crap on some folk. But chat, what are we doing today? Homing pigeon? That's my fault, man. You can't blame them. You can't blame them for being pissy, dude. They waited all night and they wanted to see a launch. Like... I wasted a lot of people's time yesterday, dude. That's what I'm concerned about. And that's what was bumming me out. Hey, look, hey, but today's a new day. I take responsibility for that. It's my fault. It's alright. I'm designing payloads for the small SSDO now in an effort to get enough money back to launch the big one again. I have to take it all the way to the moon. That's right. And then once we get between 310 and 320 kilometers, I have to right-click on this thing and hit run test. It doesn't need to be powered. We just need to test it. Oh, Absolot. I mean, it was a hell of an explosion. That was a hell of a Kraken strike. But that Kraken strike was totally my fault. I screwed up. And I was pissy that I screwed up. And because I was pissy that I screwed up, I kind of took it out on chat, and that's no excuse. That's how children act. I'm not going to do that. I really can't do that. That's very unbecoming, and I'm very embarrassed of myself. But yeah, yes, it is, Panta. Mm-hmm. It was a nice explosion. Oh yeah, we made a heck of an explosion. Oh yeah, it was great. Okay, this will work, guys. But I'm trying to think whether I should. Should we try to rope the resource satellite mission into this? I mean, if this thing's going to the moon, I mean, what are we going to need for the resource satellite? We need a rove mate, right? I'm just going to attach it like that for a second. Which wrecked our Delta V, and then I somehow need to add that. And I need to fit that all inside of this. Ooh. Yeah, Duber, it's alright. It's alright. Yeah. It is what it is, bro. I'm not happy about it, but dude, it is what it is. But let's be honest, it's usually chat's fault anyway. Is it the customer's fault if the restaurant gets their order wrong? Nah, dudes. It's mine. I screwed up, guys. I screwed up. Let's just leave it at that, bros. Trust me. That's the way I'm gonna think about this problem, whether no matter what you say, like... If the customer makes it complicated, well, do you want the business or not, dude? As someone that works in the restaurant industry, I can speak a lot to this. You want the business or not? I mean, Duber, you're absolutely right, but also, all right, here, let's try this. What is this gonna do? Can we fit that in there? Is that possible? Ah, shoot. Yeah, 2 launches. Yeah, we should. Yep. Yep. Still no pickles. Yeah, Pilch, it'd probably just be better to just do 2 separate launches. The SSTO can be launched a lot. Alright, so. Who's this mission for? I don't know who the mission is for. Let me save this and back out. Yeah, the resource intent is a pain in the butt, dude. Blame Yard. Ionic, symphonic, protonic, electronics. Nice. Alright, dudes. Let's get this payload figured out, and then we'll launch it on the other side of Space News. Save that. Would it be better to do both satellites first? That way you don't have to switch gears once you start flying. I mean, 1 mission at a time would be good. 1 mission at a time would probably be better, dude. I gotta get back into the operations of things, dude. Will there be a launch today? The small one, yeah. Guys, I don't know I don't know what you guys are saying when you're saying I want to fly both missions. Like, what do you mean? I have to launch the SSDO 2 times if I want to do that. I'm confused. You wanted to build a space station module. Purpose, Galactic. Purpose is what makes the designs different. But even me, I mean, I built Venture Star, like... Just landed to roll it right back to the pad. Well, I gotta get the payloads figured out, dude, but yeah. If we're gonna do that, I'm gonna need the resource satellite, but the resource satellite is not gonna make me money. Nobody's paying me to put a resource satellite out there. Why an engine on both sides? Brohendi, I need to test the ion engine. That's the contract. Test the ion engine in orbit around the moon. At 310 kilometers by 320. So we're going to aim for a 315 kilometer polar orbit around the moon, I think. Or just orbit around the moon. I think they're saying prep the other payload too. Well, the only reason I considered, once again, fellas, the only reason I considered putting these two things together in the first place at all is because I could have saved money. And we could have gotten some stuff done that we wanted to get done yesterday. But if I can't, there's no point in launching the resource satellite right now. I can't launch the big SSDO to get the prospector out there later. So... Nice, builder. I don't have Xenon tanks unlocked, guys. Yep. That's right. Alright, we need to go into the payload transfer vehicle. How can you test an ion engine? Testing the engine is just activating it, dude. It's not, you don't need to run it. It's just activating it. Doesn't matter if it doesn't have any fuel in it, dude.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Defiant, what's going on? All right. I gotta come up with a better transfer vehicle. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, we'll do that in a second. Anyway, can we call the small SSDO the side hustle? Maybe. Maybe. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna need somebody aboard here. Actually, no, I could just put this out. It's no problem. Yeah, French, I was actually thinking of a better way to do this. I don't need a truck with Mark II bays on it. I did that as kind of an interim thing. But that made me think of a better design, so... Alright. Alright. Let's get the keepers in position. Fooface, we talked about doing that. I talked about making the payload bay removable. I could do it. but it's better to just make a dispenser that fits inside of the payload bay. It's not a bad idea by any means. Okay, I'm just gonna basically save, and we're just gonna leave this here. And we'll put this together basically on the other side of Space News, dudes. Okay. Everything is ready to go. So I'm just gonna Space Center this, and we should be good. So we're gonna get the small SSTO up. I wanna run missions, guys. I really do. So what I basically want to do this week is run missions with the SSTO, try a couple of different things, you know, see what it's really capable of doing. And and then we'll figure out the rest of the mission architecture from there. I've decided basically it's not a good idea to just design the SSTO and then think of the missions that we need to do. That's what they did with the space shuttle. That's stupid. So we need to design end-to-end architecture. So, and to do that, we need to figure, you know, we need to go to the moon, right? Or we need to go to Minmus, or, you know, build a space station or whatever. We'll think about the best course of action from there. But we need to... Basically, I want to use this week to figure out, with no deadlines, to figure out where I want the SSTO program to go. And don't get me wrong, after yesterday, it's not going in a good direction. But you like this pad better than the other one. It's the same thing. It's the same pad, dude. It's just bigger. It's the same exact pad. It's the same thing, dude. Alright. If you can make the cargo bay detachable, you can launch much larger options. The whole bay can be the payload bay. I mean, we're making something that's already complicated. So, Absolot, you're right. You're not wrong. My one thing with that is you're making something that's already complicated to begin with even more complicated. What happened yesterday? I had Dash out on the pad with payloads ready to do its first operational mission, and I missed a step and Kraken struck the pad, and it blew up on the pad. And I lost the pad in the SSTO. Why can't NASA make a spacesuit? Yeah. No, here's the story, and this is what I was trying to tell Demo earlier. Here's the story. I was getting a little stressed out yesterday, and this is on me. It's not on anybody in chat. I was getting a little stressed out yesterday about getting the SSTO up and working. I've been trying to do an operational mission with it for a week. The second operational mission after we landed it last Saturday, or even before that. I kept postponing it. I kept postponing it. So I wanted to get it to work. I had a little bit of go fever, but that's fine. Like, it was okay. Everything was fine. And then I decided to launch the mission kind of at the end of the night, which is okay, I guess. I missed a step, and I saw what was going to happen. I saw that I missed a step, and I saw it start to fail, and I got really annoyed, and I instinctually Alt F4'd out of the game. I hit Task Manager, and I killed Task before it could blow up. It was gonna blow up. It's pretty obvious. So I got really pissed off that it was going to blow up, and I got pretty crabby, and I started yelling at chat. Not yelling at chat, but I started giving chat a lot of crap, and they started giving me crap back, and I decided that me Xing out of the game is not... That violates my in good faith rule. I shouldn't do stuff like that. It's basically like quick loading. So when I reloaded Kerbal, the pad was in one piece. It was fine, and the SSTO was fine. And I insisted that I take a penalty hit because I skirted the rules a little bit. I insisted on it, and I docked 20 rep for doing that. And then I tried to integrate again to mimic that same failure mode just to see if it was going to blow up. So I did the same exact thing. I left out the same step, and I put the SSDO up, and it failed. It fell. The pad didn't work. It fell, but it didn't explode. So I thought, oh, okay, that's cool. It wasn't going to blow up. I mimicked the failure mode to a T, and it didn't explode. So basically, the stress of mission mode got to me for a second. It usually doesn't. It got to me for a second. So I tried to salvage it, right? Because the SSDO was now sinking inside of the pad, right? It was inside of the pad, but it didn't crack and strike. So I tried to salvage it, and during salvage operations, it blew up in my face. So I lost the pad, the SSDO, the payloads, and I ended up leaving the game after the explosions, and then I reloaded it one more time, and the pad was intact again. It reloaded intact on the runway, so I recovered it and docked about 600 G's worth of damage because that's what Chat and I kind of saw what was left. It was not a good night. It was not a good night. I was pissed. I was really unhappy. I cursed a couple of viewers out like 3 or 4 times. It's not good. Not good. Not my best stream. Oh, that's cool, Duber. Yeah, I screwed up. I screwed up. Look, if it's one thing if I screw up in Kerbal, but I can't take that out on viewers. Can't do that. That's not acceptable. So I can't curse people out. You know, some guy, there was a viewer in chat that was like, dude, are you sure you're not getting burned out? I'm like, no, I'm not getting burned out, you dick. Get the hell out of here. Like, and he's like, fine, all right, whatever. He's probably not coming back. Like, I'll be real. Guy probably ain't coming back. Cursing out viewers generally makes them not want to come to your stream. Pro tip for streaming. Yeah, Bruder, yeah, it can only go up from here. That's right, brother. Yeah, right. It wasn't good. Yeah, it's very unbecoming. I shouldn't act like that. Mission mode stress got to me for a second. I'm usually better at keeping my cool than that. Except when I'm playing first-person shooters, but that's another story. Still less salty than Blue Origin PR. EJ is the new Casey Tron. Yeah, Midge. Not Midge. Miff. I do not want to be like that. Yeah, no, I can't sit here and say that I'm here to teach people and also curse people out in the same thing. Except with After Hours. That's different though. So, yeah, I lost my cool yesterday. It's very rare, but it does happen. Sorry, that's the best I can do. I'm gonna try better. So, yeah, it sucks, man. I'm not happy about yesterday. I'm super freaking embarrassed, if you really want to know. And I very rarely get embarrassed on the internet. That's not something I usually care about. Thanks, Homing Pigeon. I appreciate it. Thanks, man. But, hey, talk is cheap. Let's live by these words, you know? Yeah, Hotbox, yeah. But, you know, I can't take that out on viewers. Some viewers just pop into the stream and they're like, hey, AJ, and I'm like, get out of here, I hate you. They're just like, all right. That's a really good way to not get newer viewers. And it's a really good way to alienate your old viewers, which is something I never said I would ever do. Guys, I could sit here, like, we could sit here and we could go variety stream. I could go variety stream, but I made a thing to myself. I made a kind of rule to myself to not ever stop playing Kerbal on stream, no matter what. We could fit other games in, early hours, after hours, stuff like that. But I'm always going to be here talking about space and playing KSP to tell people about space. That's my rule. I'm still firmly in the camp that you shouldn't have redone the failure, but it's far too late now. King, I know, I appreciate the sympathy, or not sympathy, I get it. Like, I appreciate it. But, King, I'm a freaking caveman, dude. I'm a freaking caveman. This is the only way I'll learn. I'll tell you, I'm not making that mistake again when we go use the big SSDO. I will never make that mistake again. Because it's prevalent in my mind what happens if you miss hooking the TE to the SSDO. Yeah. Bad stuff happens. So, you must cut down the largest tree in the forest with a canard. Nice. Yeah. So, I don't want to be like that, guys. Yeah. I gotta learn to deal with the stress from mission mode if I want to keep doing mission mode. It's very simple. It's awesome shirt. Is this new? No, I've had it since the Apollo 50th, man. EJ Ranth, oh gosh. Can you please, for the love of all things holy, make a checklist? King, the problem with that is that when I'm developing something, so like the SSTO is still in flux. I'm still building it all out. And this is what happened with Condor's pad 2. And a little bit with Freedom's pad to an extent, but Freedom's pad was very simple. When I do that, right? When we build out the architecture, I need the checklist basically when I'm doing, like, until I get to the point where we're operational. By the time we're operational, I have it memorized, and I don't forget it. I still remember Collins' checklist, my shuttle, and I haven't flown that thing in years. I remember Condor's, too. I can fly a Condor and land it right now, and just take my word for it, okay? So I have, like, I memorize it by the time we're done with operational missions. The checklist it's only good for testing, right? I have the checklist figured out, and I never miss a step when we go to operational, you know? Like, so I don't want to waste time making a checklist when I could just, you know, push to get the vehicle operational. I mean, it's you know, with the SSTO right now, it's really easy to, you know, say that, no, that's not a good way to do things in hindsight, but this has worked for me in the past. It'll work for me again. For what it's worth, yesterday's stream was my first, and I actually enjoyed the whole incident and the discussion around it. Lessons were learned all around. Ferrero, and